Hey everybody, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's Friday night at last. Again.
Yeah.
Even though CB said Friday already, where does the time go? Yeah, I mean, seriously.
We're drinking Arnold Palmer with fucking vodka in it. Pretty good.
Yeah, I went to make a drink like a little while ago and I was like, oh shit, we didn't get any mixers.
I know.
So I was like, I quick made some,
my ice melted.
made a thing of tea.
My ice melted.
To put some fucking, oh my goodness. Zach says right out the gate, I banged a trans dude the other day. How was that? How was that?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
Banging a trans dude?
Huh?
No, Zach said he banged a trans dude the other day.
You telling me about it?
And I said, how was that? And then you walked back in and said it was pretty good.
No, I'm talking about the
I know, but it was just funny. Like the timing was like really funny.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so
what?
He fucked a trans man.
Yeah.
So it was biological female turned to a male.
FTM, as they call it.
Yeah, fucking. So what that means is that Zach pretty much had straight sex. That's his first experience. He's now no longer a virgin. How much I bet he says, no, I only hit it in the ass. I didn't.
No, I mean, Zach says, well, I asked how it was. So, well, you know how you see a movie and think it's amazing and also never need to see it again?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay. That's I kind of feel that way about a lot of, I don't know, because there's a lot of shit you see, like in porn and stuff like that, and you're just like, oh, that sounds like a neat idea. But then, like, when you actually think about doing it in real life, you're like,
no.
It probably wouldn't be that much fun.
Just ask the professionals that actually do it.
Right.
Nah.
It's like just the idea of it's neat, but it's just like a lot of times probably the reality of it wouldn't live up to.
The least popular ones is fucking like gangbangs. None of those performers like doing it. The dudes don't like doing it.
I don't blame them.
They gotta just stand around dick in hand waiting, and then they gotta jump in and out.
I was kind of wondered about that because I was just kind of like...
And then they lie to the director. The director, did you come? Go, oh, yeah, you didn't see it? Fucking, fucking one dude said he got through his, like, first fucking 4 or 5 gangbangs. He didn't come. But he played it off.
He just pretended.
He pretended that he did. The director didn't notice.
Okay. He just kind of turned away at the last
second.
Yeah,
he was jumping in and out.
Yeah, there we go.
He said his secret was to jump in early so the director sees you, and you keep getting some head and stuff, and fucking make sure that the director sees you, and then duck out.
Okay, good.
That other guy. So you want to be like in there early.
All right.
Yeah. They're not making much money.
Well, yeah, and there's so many dudes to keep track of. It's like I'm sure you can get away with all kind of stuff, and they don't really notice it. I was kind of, I don't know, I always kind of wondered about that. I every now and then like to watch that gangbang porn, but
just to see what it is. Yeah.
Like in real life, I'm just kind of like, like a lot of it is just mostly the dudes are standing around,
Yeah. There's only a couple of girls that actually like it.
Yeah.
Like Angela White is into that. She loves it. And Lily Lou.
Yeah, some people like it, but
yeah,
I don't know.
But fucking Angela White, that chick's fucking gross, man. She's hot, but it's just, she says, she goes, there's something about the smell of it. I fucking just love the smell of all that man ass. And I was just like, ugh.
Takes all kinds.
But she does it. It's just, yeah. Okay, man.
You do you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, I mean, I just kind of feel like it wouldn't really be much fun because you can't really focus on any one thing. You know what I mean? You got dicks coming at you from every direction. You got to suck on this one. Got one in your ass. Got one in your...
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's just too much. It's like so much overstimulation that it's like it wouldn't feel like anything. I feel like
they're totally recalibrated. Those girls are totally rewired. They're not fucking they're not civilians. You know what I mean? They're fucking soldiers.
Yeah.
Two of the oldest fucking professions in fucking human history. Hooking and soldiering. And it's the same thing. It's selling your body to old men. The girls are selling their body for old men for sex, and the dudes are selling their bodies to get killed, to kill other dudes, other young men out on battlefields, It's the same thing, though, basically. Disposable people. To keep some old man in power.
Zach says, by the way, my alcoholic ex-roomie who threatened to stab me is living down in y'all's neck of the woods. Okay. So watch out for a very tall and skinny man named Anthony.
Okay.
We'll probably see a few Florida man stories about him. Where exactly is he at? Like Orlando area?
Because Florida's huge.
Yeah. I mean, even Orlando, we're like 28 miles from Orlando.
Yeah.
So we're kind of out in the sticks a little bit. A little bit. Not too bad, but you know.
But some of those girls are just totally rewired. And watch some interviews with Lily Lou, and you'll see what I'm talking about. She was into that shit at 11. Watching porn and doing shit to herself at 11. She's going anal on herself at 11. She said she just totally freakazoid. She turned 18 and went right into porn, basically. So did Angela White.
That was her dream job.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, it's got to be some people's dream job.
Yeah, they're nymphos. Yeah. And
I'm not
the
judging.
difference between them is that they do not have the female mating strategy. It's the male mating strategy. In other words, just fucking aggression and numbers. You know. And it's so they're more psychologically, they're more like dudes.
Yeah. Hugo says, I just rewatched The Others. Great movie. That is a great movie. I never get tired of watching that movie. We finally got around to like reviewing it not too long ago.
Which one was that?
That was the one with Nicole Kidman in that creepy old house with the two light-sensitive kids.
The ghosts, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that's a really good movie. Like, I like that kind of old school. Yeah. We should probably, you know what? I don't think we ever reviewed... Did we review The Orphanage? Because we should, if we haven't. That's like a really good one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think on Monday, I had somebody else, like our newest patron, asked us to review, what was that movie called? It was a TV movie from the 90s. The Haunting of Seacliff Inn. And I was like, I know that some of you guys had recommended that before, and I was like, I could have sworn that we fucking reviewed that, because I thought we watched it, unless I'm thinking of a different movie. But I searched our channel, and I didn't see it. So if you guys remember that we reviewed that, let me know. Because I thought we had, but I couldn't find it. And then there was another one she requested, too. I wrote it down on my other thing. I just don't know where it is. But it was also like a TV, like a paranormal like TV movie from the 90s.
Yeah.
But we might do Seacliff Inn. They're both for free on YouTube. So if we haven't done Seacliff Inn, we'll probably do that on Monday. But... yeah, Ben says, I've seen videos where 18th birthday parties for some girl turn into gangbangs. Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty popular trope. You know what I mean?
Lily Lou did one for Brazzers for her birthday. It was a gangbang. But it was not 18th, though. She's in her 20s. Mid-20s, I think. Maybe 30s. No, probably mid to late 20s.
I always thought it was so creepy that, like... Remember, because I think Wang did a video about this where... particularly like in the early days of the internet, like 90s and early 2000s, there were all those like countdown websites, like all of these child celebrities, like when they were going to turn 18 and would hence be bangable.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so fucking gross. Like the Olsen twins and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that was the old school internet. And anybody had access.
I mean, I'm sure it's still around. It's like I don't really look for that kind of shit. So
probably couldn't find it. Probably couldn't navigate to it. Yeah, you probably could get through it to Google, but it would just look real primitive. Remember how fucking website design was?
Yeah.
It was just fucking...
Well, a lot of that stuff you can find it on the Wayback Machine because like it archives everything. Well, it doesn't archive everything, but it archives a lot of things. Because that's where he gets most of the screenshots and shit for his videos as he goes to the Wayback Machine. But
people used to say that the internet was the Wild West. It kind of was, but it wasn't as wild as you think. It's wilder now. A lot easier to find stuff. It just felt like the Wild West because it was just so homemade. You know, fucking dudes would make weird-ass fucking websites, and a lot of times you didn't know whether or not to take it seriously. And some of it was trolling. You know, people, some of it was trolling. But that was the fun of it.
I mean, I'm a graphic designer, though, so, like, the web design back then used to, like, give me a migraine.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was so ugly. And it's just like, and you know what I mean? Because I like everything kind of like neatly laid out and everything, and there's just like shit everywhere, just like columns over here, pictures over there, and like nothing's lined up and everything like that. It was like, oh, it freaked me out so bad.
And it was real expensive to host video.
Yeah.
But some websites had video on it, and it would just be creepy shit. You know what I mean? Like some kind of mannequin. Remember that one that had a mannequin dressed up as like a woman, and it was like had singing, and
Was it I Feel Fantastic?
I think I Feel Fantastic.
Yeah, that's a pretty famous one.
Yeah, it was weird. It was just some creepy shit. You didn't know what it was. It turned out to be like...
It wasn't weird or nefarious or anything like that, but it was so... When people saw it, it was just like so out of context. We're like, what the fuck is that? And so they came up with all kind of crazy stories.
Behind it. It was just it was an art piece. It wasn't it? If I remember correctly. It was somebody did like a little art piece.
Yeah. Which a lot of those are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you don't have that context, you're just thinking, did a serial killer make this? What is that about?
Well, some of that shit is an art piece, but it may be the twisted motherfucker. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, just because they're an artist, they could also be a serial killer. Those are not mutually exclusive.
Remember the one Wayne was talking about where the grown man that was dressing up as a schoolboy and putting a boy mask on with the buck teeth and the fucking high heels?
Yeah.
Remember him just running around?
Yeah.
And he had...
That dude's a weirdo.
That was weird. Yeah. Really
well,
weird.
I'm pretty sure that's like some weird PDF file shit.
Yeah, it was PDF file. Either that or it was some... It could have been somebody fucking kind of trolling, too.
Possibly.
Because it was very extreme. And the shit that he was saying and the little voices he was making. It's super weird that somebody... Really weird that somebody thought that was attractive or that was some kind of a turn-on. But that's why it was being presented as a turn-on.
Like I said, it takes all kinds.
But it could have been a dude just fucking with you.
That's always a possibility.
Could have been trolling. They did find the guy. He's in England somewhere.
Yeah.
But they didn't... There was no details on him.
It's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
Gramthers is here and says Kraftwerk is playing in Detroit tonight. Are they goth or just emo wanks?
No.
Neither. Oh, thank you. Ben already answered the question.
Yeah.
Kraftwerk are neither emo nor goth. They're electronic pioneers. Yeah. They also inspired disco.
Yeah.
And then High Desert said they must be in their 70s by now.
Yeah. I would kind of call it almost proto-industrial.
Yeah, that's probably what I would call it too.
Because a lot of the industrial bands that came later, like Front 242 and Skinny Puppy, were heavily inspired by Kraftwerk.
Yeah. Then Zach says, okay, but what do you do when shitty old web design becomes an aesthetic in and of itself? 2000s fashion is kind of making a comeback.
Yeah,
God knows why it's so ugly. Some of it's ugly, but yeah, like I said, there is actually
There's a look.
An aesthetic that is like an ugly old web aesthetic. Yeah. And I hate it. I hate it just as much as when I saw it the first time.
It's supposed to evoke a feeling.
Well, yeah, I know that. Like, it's like a nostalgia thing.
Yeah, like nostalgia.
But I am not nostalgic for ugly old web pages.
Like the old video game characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The low resolution video game characters, like, the Pac-Man characters and, fucking Donkey Kong. There's a certain amount of art to those low-res characters, you know what I mean? Like, if you had a statue of that or a picture of that, it's kind of artistic. But you could take a picture or a screenshot of a new video game, and it looks so realistic or so, cinematic that it wouldn't be good framed in a...
Yeah, because it just looks kind of like a photo.
It's just like
or
a photo.
Like an AI generated.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's a look.
It's like it has kind of an artistic feel to it.
Yeah.
Like look at like Sonic the Hedgehog, that profile of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's kind of looks cool, but it's made out of little squares.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't mind pixel art.
Yeah, it's all pixelated.
I'm talking about, because some of that looks pretty cool actually, but I'm talking more about stuff that's trying to evoke the way that a web page looked.
Yeah, I know. That's what I knew you were talking about.
Yeah, like
the weird chartreuse,
like 1996,
gray,
like with weird flashing shit everywhere, and there's no rhyme or reason to anything. It's like there's no structure to it. There's just pictures and flashing GIFs. Thrown everywhere.
It's because when they're writing that program, they gave them options to add things, and dudes are just adding it.
Yeah, let's add all of it.
Just add it. Yeah, add that.
Why not? We can add that too.
Right. Yeah.
They don't give a shit about like what it looked like.
Yeah, they had
obviously.
They had all kind of mysterious websites like Gore Gallery. That was a fucking.
I remember that one.
Yeah, there'd be different stuff on it all the time. Weird shit.
I mean, I like a lot of. I like the 80s retro stuff up to a point, and I like kind of that vaporwave aesthetic, which I guess is kind of 80s.
Yeah.
80s adjacent.
I noticed they're not doing that as much.
They don't do it as much anymore because it was kind of a thing for a while. Mm-hmm. I did kind of like for one of the dealerships that I do ads for and stuff like that. I did them a little bit of a vaporwave, like aesthetic, which they liked, but because I try to do like a different thing for each, like a different theme. Like one of them has like all kind of watercolor looking stuff and shit like that. But
Tiggly asked you a question or she said something.
Oh, we're talking about then they zoom into the spot in the grass like someone may have been buried there. She's talking about the
no before
the I Feel Fantastic video.
Yeah.
Before that. Just says like, oh, I left a comment on one of your live streams after it ended. I think it would be really fun to comprise just a bunch of random questions and have you guys answer them. We probably should do that. I mean, not like we wouldn't answer any questions that you guys ask. I mean, within reason. I can't really think of much of anything that we wouldn't answer. I don't know. I'm sure someone would come up with something that I'd be like, yeah, I'm not answering that. But I can't really think of anything offhand that I wouldn't answer. Zach said I also have several songs from All Things Must Pass by George Harrison stuck in my head. I have the most random fucking songs get stuck in my head. I mean, for a while, I mean, obviously I've had Goodbye Horses stuck in my head, like, for all because we just listened to it the other day. But then, like, every now and then, like, some random ass fucking song will just pop in my head for no fucking reason. I don't even, what was the one that was stuck in my head the other day? Shit, I don't even remember. I think it was that song by the Ocean Blue. Like, I think it's called Ballerina Out of Control. And that just fucking popped in my head for no reason at all. I think I heard it a couple months back. Like, I think he played it at Barbarella.
Which
but
one?
that was like a long time ago. That Ocean Blue song. It was like a couple months ago.
That new one?
No, I said the Ocean Blue.
I don't know that one.
You'd know it if you heard it. He plays it every now and then. But that just got randomly stuck in my head the other day, too. But yeah, they're talking, but that's really funny. I didn't even know that Kraftwerk were still around. And then High Desert said they must be in their 70s by now. And then Gramster said, yeah, but The Who played last night at Albert Royal Hall, and they're well in their early 80s.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And Ben says Rolling Stones still tour. And Leonard Cohen still does shows.
Yeah.
And they're probably in their 70s or 80s.
It's ridiculous when you think about it.
I mean, it's not quite as weird. I think, like, Leonard Cohen doing it isn't quite as weird because he's more like...
He's been chilled out.
He's like more folky, kind of. Like, he's not swaggering around.
Yeah.
Trying to squeeze into tight leather pants or anything.
Like,
I don't know if Mick Jagger does that
anymore.
Mick
Jagger probably still is, yeah. Yeah, he probably still is.
Oh, wait, and then High Desert said, yeah, I was like, for a second I was thinking, isn't Leonard Cohen dead? And then, yeah, High Desert said, yeah, Leonard Cohen died in 2016. I hope he's not still doing shows. It's zombie Leonard Cohen. That would be pretty awesome, actually. Sorry, I just randomly thought of, like, a fucking old line from The Young Ones, that British show from the 80s.
Yeah.
Where Neil said something like, I'll be dead and yet still alive, like Leonard Cohen. But that was like back in the 80s, which I thought was really funny, when he was very much not dead.
Yeah.
So. Oh, Zach says, okay, what's y'all's social security numbers? Okay, he did think of a question that I wasn't going to answer. I could just make one up. Tigglyfoot says, have you seen that stupid website that helps you get rid of a song in your head by replacing it with a different one? I have heard of that, but I've never visited it. That doesn't usually work for me, though, because you know what? A lot of people will say, like, hey, if a song is stuck in your head, you just have to go listen to it.
Just listen to it.
And it'll get, that doesn't work for me. That just makes it stick in there even harder.
Okay, no. If I play it a couple times, it'll go away.
No, that doesn't work for me. Then it'll be stuck in there even longer. Because then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And then now I'll remember more of the words and like fucking, and it's just stuck in there on repeat.
One that was getting stuck in my head a few months back was the Altered Images, Happy Birthday.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's not on my Spotify. I have that other Altered Images song on there.
Yeah.
That I Could Be Happy with.
I Could Be Happy, yeah. That's another good song.
But I don't know. That gets stuck in my head sometimes too. That's a very catchy song. But see, we hear that sometimes in the car because that's on my Spotify. Yeah. You know? Sometimes it's just songs that I haven't heard for a really long time. And it'll just suddenly like... CB said, I can think of a few questions that won't get answered and probably get me in trouble. Ooh, now I'm intrigued.
No, you can ask anything.
Like I said, the worst we could do is say, no, I'm not answering that. I'm not going to get mad or nothing. You know what I mean? Gramther says Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan are touring together this summer. God damn. Did anybody see that Bob Dylan movie? I saw that it had just come up on Hulu or something.
It's hard to believe Willie Nelson is still alive. He wasn't looking too good.
It's all that weed.
Last time I saw him, that was about 3 or 4 years ago, just on the internet.
Yeah.
Showed up in some clip.
I don't even know how old that is.
Yeah, he was kind of out of it.
200 or...
I think somebody said he's kind of out of it now.
Well, you know.
Matter of fact, I think that might have been Alex Jones that said that he hung out with him a couple years back, and he said he's real nice, but he doesn't have any idea what's going on. He's kind of, I think
he's old as fuck.
Yeah, I think he might be kind of senile.
That tends to happen.
Yeah.
When you get, not to everybody, but I think it happens to everybody to a greater or lesser degree.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's as sharp as they were when they were younger.
Kind of slow down a little bit. Well, it just depends on their health too. There was some people that were just sharp as a tack until they died.
Yeah. Both
my grandparents on my mother's side were sharp as a tack when they died. But that whole family on that side is immortal. My mother's older sisters are all still alive.
Yeah.
You know, bizarre. And her mom died almost 100.
Yeah.
Late 90s, yeah. And she was still pretty healthy. Just died in her sleep.
Yeah, my grandma on my mom's side lived to her 90s. On my dad's side, she died when she was 79.
Yeah.
But she got stomach cancer. But, you know. Her mom lived until she was in her 90s.
Yeah.
But she unalived herself.
Killed herself?
Yes.
Yeah, let me go get you some more ice. How'd she kill herself?
She took a blade and ran it all the way up both of her arms.
Yeah.
Because they put her in a home, and she told them that she didn't want to go to a home. And she was like, she told them that that's what she was going to do if they made her go, and they made her go. So that's what she did. I mean, you know, she stuck to her principles, I guess. You know. And it wasn't I guess it was my great uncle and my great aunt, who I didn't actually know that well, because they were kind of the ones that were kind of tasked with taking care of her, you know. She lived by herself up until she was quite old, because she was actually in pretty good health. Like, she had arthritis. I think that was about it. Hugo said Stephen King's The Monkey was good too. Reminded me of the Final Destination franchise. I still want to see that. Like, I was talking to my friend Roxanne at the club, and her and Dr. Michael go and see all the horror movies at the theater. And she didn't like it, but I don't know. I still want to see it though. CB said, my girlfriend does the question stuff, and the things people ask you will not believe. Oh, I'd probably believe it. I'd probably believe it. It's like so funny about fucking Leonard Cohen. Now I want to make an AI of like zombie Leonard Cohen, like singing Hallelujah. That would be super funny.
Okay. So it looks like we got everybody here now. How long the show's been going on for? Probably about a half hour already?
Not quite.
Okay. Today is Friday. This is our version of Open Lines Friday. We'll talk about anything, old cases that we talked about. If you guys have any questions, we can talk about that. If not, we're just going to sit here and just fucking go on into the weekend, the beginning of the weekend, with y'all drinking. See, and right
As
now
we do.
Drinking vodka and Arnold Palmer.
Not the actual Arnold Palmer. Yeah. That would be pretty gross, but... Oh, Tigglyfoot has a question.
Yeah.
Does Tom bleach his asshole?
No.
He seems like he would.
No. No need. That bitch is shiny and new.
Just came out of the factory wrapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many... I mean, how common is bleaching your asshole? I know it's very common in porn.
If they have to.
But yeah, I kind of feel like if your asshole is kind of pretty much the same color as the rest of your skin, you probably don't have to.
If the color match doesn't look right, it looks dirty all the time, then they probably would do it, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that, but like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
key to that is to fucking shave your shit, man.
Well, yeah.
Don't let shit collect up on you. Dingleberries and crap. fucking up there and fucking
Get that ass hair out there.
fucking girls going down on you and getting fucking sepsis, some shit like that. Get with
Face
E.
full
coli, your dingleberry ass, nasty.
Yeah, because all kind of
Jen,
like stuff living in
fucking.
it.
Jen's heard fucking all kinds of shit on fucking these little threads that she goes on. I've seen so many interviews with fucking escorts and call girls about how these are high-end call girls. They just say, man, some of these dudes are just fucking filthy.
Yeah, they're dirty.
Dirty.
Like I said, I've been lucky. Like I said, I don't have a huge body count or anything like that, but I was pretty lucky that I never encountered a dude where I was like, yeah, no thanks. You know what I mean? Like he was like filthy or gross. Yeah. But I've heard from a lot of people that it's pretty common. Yeah, Zach says the gays do it a lot. I don't know why.
Trying to make that shit look attractive, man.
I guess. Like I said, I could see if it was like a lot darker than the rest, and you were like self-conscious about it, or like I said, if you were in porn or you were doing a lot of butt sex that people were gonna see it.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I could see doing it then.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. CB says, does Tom wax his ass?
No.
I never had wax work for me. I always got to shave everything.
Everything's with a razor, yeah.
Yeah. He shaves everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And clipped. I clip too. Use clippers.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty...
Shave and clip.
He's pretty shorn.
Yeah.
Oracle asks, how's Pookie doing?
She's still in the other room.
She's doing good.
Yeah.
She was just in here before the show. But Tom was changing out one of the lights. And she acted like it was the scariest thing ever.
Yeah.
And like, she's like,
say
and then she ran, oh my God!
Yeah, yeah.
She's such a drama queen.
Yeah.
Like, she acts like, we raised her since she was this big. Like, she was like 6 weeks old or something.
Yeah.
And, nothing bad has ever happened to her. Nothing. Like, I think the only bad thing that ever happened was when she got out and that dog
chased her a little bit.
Like, chased her. He didn't hurt her, but because the dog, he was just trying to be friends. Like, ooh, Cady. And the dog, she was like, oh, no. And she, like, got scared and ran to a neighbor's house. We had to go get her. But, nothing bad has ever happened to her, but it's like, she acts like if you sneeze or if you move some shit, it's like the end of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
She acts like, yeah. I think she's
supposed to have excitement.
Yeah, she's just trying to make her life exciting. Yeah. Is I think what it is. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, Tiddlyfoot says laser hair removal is the way to go. It's definitely worth the money. I have thought about it
for women.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's not that much of a pain. I mean, it's a pain, but I don't find it that much of a pain, like to shave everything.
I can get all the hard to reach spots.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You have somebody help you.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, I can't really reach that good back there. Like, you know what I mean? So, he doesn't mind. He actually offers to do it. So, I'm just like, okay. He thinks it's kind of hot, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I have to shave your back, so.
Yeah. And I'll clip the front, clip legs.
Yeah.
Clip arms.
See, these
shave
are
your junk.
See,
shave
these
your
are
nuts,
these are
shave
fun
your crack.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem to shave your own crack, though. You never asked me to shave your ass crack.
Yeah, I'm an expert at
it. I can do it. It's just kind of like, I feel like it's just really awkward, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's hard for me to get back there, and I always like miss spots.
You gotta get in the fucking shower and fucking squat down.
I know, you gotta squat way down and like get up and...
and it go through. The thing is, you stay on top of it. You just do it every day. It doesn't grow. I can do it every day. Every time I get in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do it every day. I do it every couple of days.
Cause I shave my head. I'll shave other things and fucking... Yeah. I shave everything.
Yeah.
Every time I go in the shower. Every time.
I don't shave legs every day. I shave legs every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. And I shower at least twice a day.
Yeah, I do too.
A lot of times 3 times. Especially in the summer here in Florida.
But other things I shave.
Yeah. So you just kind of stay on top of everything. I don't worry about shampoo because I don't have hair, so I just fucking start. One thing that
shave my face. I have had to start shaving my arms.
Yeah.
Since I've been on this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and it's like, and I forget because I never used to have to, because I had always had kind of hair on my arms, but it was like real light, so you couldn't really see it. But I've noticed that, like, especially up near my wrist, like I'll go like a couple weeks, then I'll look down, I'm like, holy shit! Like there's just like all this fucking dark hair.
You're more androgenic.
Yeah. So
you're more of a cave woman now.
I'm a cave woman.
You're a cave woman. Yeah. You're more primitive.
Oh, Tigglyfoot says, which one of you has cat litter duty? Tom does the downstairs one, and I do the upstairs one.
Yeah.
We figured that was fair. So, because the upstairs one is actually in my bathroom. So I just scoop that one every day. And then there's one downstairs in the laundry room. Yeah. And then he usually cleans that one. So, it's fair. I was grossed out at first, but it doesn't really bother me anymore.
It's nothing compared to fucking cleaning stalls.
Yeah, I used to clean horse stalls. So
yep.
That was pretty gross, too, because I used to go with you sometimes.
Yep. Cleaning horse stalls, cleaning tack, grooming horses, putting them out, feeding them, medicines, injections. Yeah. Ride them.
Yeah.
If they had to be ridden. They rarely had to be ridden, though. But there was a couple times I had to ride them. But, I grew up doing it, so not really a big deal.
CB says, in the UK, we have the adult channel, what is that called? Bab Station? I can't read what that is. And you can see the girls that need to bleach their assholes.
Where is this?
On some UK TV channel, like an adult.
Oh.
Like an adult channel.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not disputing that there are probably definitely some people that need their assholes bleached. I'm just saying that.
What fucking questions, man?
Yeah. Well, no, see, this is kind of what I was hoping, because it's just kind of like, I don't know. I like questions like that. Yeah, Tigglyfoot said I've always shaved my arms. Yeah, I never really thought about it before. It's like I said, I always had a little bit of hair on my arms, but it was like blonde, or like just kind of light red or whatever. So I never, and it was kind of short, so I never really worried about it. But ever since I've been on all the drugs, the drugs, it has I have had to shave them. But I don't, it's all right.
When Jen was a kid, she did a little bit of gymnastics, but after that, she lived kind of a sedentary lifestyle. She wasn't athletic.
I played soccer in my 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You didn't really have signs of fucking being an athlete, because that happens to girls. They'll fucking start producing more testosterone. Shit'll grow on them, bigger clits and stuff. Hair will be a little fucking heavier. But that's just, they have some hirsute women genetically. They're just like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's because some women are pushing themselves a little harder, and their body will respond by putting out more fucking test. And more estrogen, too. Just a different ratio. People fucking really, who are kind of, don't really know much about endocrinology and stuff, it was just something if you're going to start getting into gym bro science, you're going to have to know everything about that before you start fucking around with that shit. Because if you don't know what you're doing, and a lot of people the average dude can't handle what I do. They don't have the discipline. There's a lot of different kinds of discipline. You have to take shit religiously, and you have to spend money on the shit religiously. A lot of dudes will just take it for a couple weeks and stop. Oh, I feel better. And then they stop taking it. Then they go back to being a piece of shit like they were before. You got to fucking take it forever for the rest of your life at my age. And
yeah, it's a complete change of your lifestyle, which a lot of people just think, oh, well, I'm just going to do it for a little while, and then I don't have to do it anymore. But you just have to do it forever.
Once you start getting into HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy, and you're talking about 35 plus, that's really when you're kind of eligible for that, especially if you're a man. You're not going to come off. You're going to be on the needle for the rest of your life. But so is a diabetic. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's, some people, they don't really have much of a choice.
If your teeth fall out, you're going to put false teeth in. And guess what? For the rest of your life, you're going to have false teeth in. Some people have a hard time accepting things like finality. Like, for the rest of your life, you have to do, for the rest of my life? Yeah, dude.
I mean, you get used to it.
You're 50, that's 20 years.
You get used to it.
I could fall asleep. If I could sleep for 20 years.
You probably could.
I could. Yeah.
I believe it.
I can sleep for 5 years.
I believe it.
Yeah. Wake up, eat, and then go back to sleep.
Go take a piss and come back.
Yeah, and go
back. Let me see. We got some more questions. Tippyfoot says, "Would you guys ever get a snake?" I actually wouldn't mind having one.
Anything against snakes?
I actually really like snakes. I had a tokay gecko for a little while. Before me and him got together, I had a baby iguana too.
They're just not a kind of pet
he didn't live
let
that long.
Go,
Yeah,
they're not real fun.
Yeah, I mean, the kitties are a lot more entertaining, at least, because they're always doing goofy ass shit, like pretty much every day. They're like little clowns. having them.
Yeah, I'd like to have a cat, or cats. I'd like to have a raccoon.
Yeah, we've been thinking about me, but you're not really supposed to have them as
Yeah.
pets.
You can't get them though.
You can
People
get
have
them, but you're not really supposed to.
They
You're not opposed to.
they make good pets. Evidently, so do possums, which is funny. You wouldn't think a possum made a good pet, but they don't live long. That's the weird thing about a possum.
That would be kind of sad, though.
Yeah, they only live for like 4 years.
I wouldn't mind a ferret.
Yeah, they don't live long either.
That's
the
kind of
problem with
sad. Because I had a friend that I used to work with, and him and his girlfriend had 2 ferrets, and they were darling.
Yeah, they're clowns. The problem with ferrets is that they're into everything. They fucking
yeah,
they stash food.
Yeah.
If you give them any food, they'll hide it.
They said their one ferret, its favorite thing in all the world, and they bought him all these toys and stuff. His favorite thing was the remote control from the TV.
Yeah.
And it's like, so they never knew where the remote control was because he would always take it and like stash it.
Yeah.
So they'd always have to, whenever they got home from work, they'd have to find where he put it that day. Because he didn't want him then to take it.
The main problem with them, though, is that they have no homing instinct. So they don't come back. If they try to escape the house, and if they get out, you'll never see it again. They can't come back. They don't have an instinct to come back. They just keep going and going and going and going.
Wee, adventure.
Yeah, woo, woo. They never come back.
Tigglyfoot has another question. Which one of you has nicer feet?
Jen, my feet are like claws.
They're not that bad. You have okay feet.
Yeah.
I have little wide feet. But they're not weird looking though, which is good. They're just regular.
She got little cute feet. Yeah.
I have little.
Yeah, they're a little bit flat, but they're cute.
Yeah, I have little flat feet, but they're not weird looking.
They're not that flat though.
No.
They're just slightly flat.
Ben says, I have to shave my face every day or two, otherwise I start looking like a wild man. I usually have a small beard and mustache.
Yeah. I gotta shave twice a day.
Yeah.
But I'm not human.
You're not human.
No, half the time. Half the time I fucking got 3 times of, like 3,000 fucking nanograms per deciliter of testosterone run through me. That's 3 times what a man has. So, yeah, everything, facial hair grows real fast on me. I'm literally a werewolf.
Yeah.
Especially when I was on Tren. But I don't take that anymore.
Yeah, because then you were even acting like a werewolf.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes you real violent.
Ooh. Oh, hey, we got
money. Look at that. That's big money there. Who is that?
That's hello there. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in here all the time.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the super chat. Thanks for another installment of your Night Gallery reviews. You're very welcome. Always liked the Sandra D segment. That was easily the best one of the. I mean, the other two. That third one was like so cringy, but the first one was okay. But it was just like that Twilight Zone episode. You know what I mean? Which I said in the video. It's just like Eye of the Beholder. It was like the same plot. You know what I mean? Tigglyfoot said, "I'm a size 5. What are you, Jen?" Usually 7. I can wear a 6 sometimes, but.
She must be a girl.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was, based on the questions, I thought it was a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, she says most of my shoes are little kid shoes.
Yeah. How old is she? How old are you, Tiggly?
Yeah, there's a don't ferret stink.
Not bad. They're not bad. My dad had one when I was a little kid, but it got killed. It got killed quickly. I liked it. I was a little kid.
Yeah, they're cool.
It chewed through the screen and went next door to go play with the dogs, and the dogs killed it.
Oh.
Yeah. My dad ran out there and got it. Heard all kinds of barking, and the neighbor says, "Hey, do you have this little white thing? It's my dogs were trying to eat it." And he went out there, and it was coughing up blood. And my dad brought it in. It was coughing up blood, and I could see it bleeding. And I was going, ah! And he was trying to wash it off in the sink and keep him alive. It died. Broke its neck. Dog picked it up.
God damn it.
Bit it and shook it. It was a good dog. I liked the dog. Big Labrador.
It just
didn't know what that was.
Hey, food.
Big rat. He thought it was a big rat.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of if you get one from a pet store, like as High Desert says, they usually take their scent glands out.
Yeah. You see, I had mine in the 70s. And I was in California at the time. They weren't legal in California. And nobody really knew what it was. And my dad found it at work. He worked at a water pollution control plant that fucking stank to high heaven. They were fucking cleaning sewage water. And it would attract animals.
Somebody's got to do it.
And he came out of the damn lunchroom, and that thing ran right up to him. And my dad goes, hold on. And his friend was watching it. And my dad came back with some bologna and gave it some bologna, and it started eating out of his hand. And he realized he could pet it. So he goes, I'm taking this thing home. And they're like, what is that? I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
They didn't know what it was.
It's a weird ass animal. Hope it doesn't turn into a gremlin if I feed it.
My dad thought it was some kind of a weasel.
Yeah. Well, they're related.
Some kind of a weasel or some kind of a mink or something. And he took it home, and it was a pretty cool little pet. It wasn't fucking deskunked, though. It had kind of a skunk smell, and it could spray. I ran up on it one time and scared it, and it sprayed over the wall. It didn't smell as bad as a skunk, but it smelled like a skunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cleaned up. And it just played constantly. And it chewed through the screen, window screen, and went next door and got killed. And we only had it for maybe a week. And my dad had his friends come over. What is that thing? Because there was no internet.
Yeah, you didn't have Google back then.
Yeah.
Just let's call the library.
And most of them didn't know. and one of his friends, Jim North, says, I think that's a ferret.
Yeah.
And he goes, but I've never seen one that was white, because it was albino.
Yeah, I've seen white ones before.
Well, they'd never seen one. They only saw the regular one, which is kind of shaped like it's colored like a raccoon. You know, rings going down the tails.
Yeah.
And its head, brown and gray and black. So my dad went to the library and looked up the ferrets, and he saw a picture of it. But it was the wild one. It's not wild. You could get domestic ones that color. And he goes, yeah, that's it. But there's very little information on it. So he called animal control in California and says, I have this thing, it's called a ferret. And he says, you have a ferret? And he goes, yeah. He goes, where do you live? And he goes, I'm not telling you where I live. They were going to come get it. You know, so I'm not telling you where I live. And I said, what? And he goes, my dad was like, what are these things? You know, and they didn't really know much either. And he goes, are they dangerous? And they went, yeah, they're dangerous. They're not dangerous.
No, they're not.
They're not dangerous, but they thought they were dangerous back then.
Well, I guess, like I said, a lot of people didn't know what they were.
They didn't know what it was. Yeah. And what was funny is that they should have, because they had been domesticated for centuries.
Yeah.
And it's an American animal.
Yeah.
And they domesticated them, and they were selling them to Europe. Europe had a bunch of them, but they all came from America. And they were using them to hunt rabbits.
Yeah.
And pets. There's a medieval painting of a little girl, I think a little Italian girl, you know, wearing that down, not even as Elizabethan, all that fucking, you know, like 1500s looking clothes. I guess that was Elizabethan. And she's got a ferret in her hand.
Yeah.
Have you seen that painting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
And evidently, only rich people had them in Europe. She had one as a pet. A little rich girl. Pretty fucking wild. But now they're legal, you know. Fucking everybody knows what they were.
Yeah.
But they weren't legal in California at that time. And nobody knew what they were. They were kind of something only in the underground.
Seelyfoot said she's 37.
Okay.
CB said, Tom and Jenny, if you were on a desert island, who would get eaten first?
Who asked this?
CB did.
Yeah.
Jen
would get eaten. Nah.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just take pieces off each other.
So if we were on a desert island, I wouldn't have to eat her because I could fish. Okay.
I would hope you wouldn't have to
I could fish. I could catch fish with my hands.
Yeah. I mean,
I could just make traps.
Yeah.
Make fish traps with using rocks. There's a bunch of different ways you could do it. Eat sea anemone.
Yeah, there's a
eat
bunch of stuff
urchin.
you could
There's
eat in
all
there.
kinds of stuff you could eat.
Yeah, people eat those.
Yeah, and you could eat it raw. A lot of people would eat it raw. So I wouldn't starve. Wouldn't allow it. There's a lot of shellfish you can eat. You know, even if you couldn't make fire, you could still eat.
Yeah.
You know, people will go, "Oh, you eat raw fish? We fucking eat sushi all the time."
Yeah, people eat sushi.
Just,
it's
it doesn't have. It tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
And if you got a bunch of salt water there, you can after you cut it up, you can wash it.
Yeah.
So you know you can get all that gut flavors off of it. You know.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, hello there. Was talking about the Night Gallery episode. It said Sandra Dee was so past her biggest stardom at that point, and she was only around 30. Yeah, she wasn't that old in that episode. Wish she could have done more in the 70s. Yeah, I think the only other thing that I had seen, she was in that that H.P. Lovecraft movie, the Dunwich Horror, that I reviewed a while back, which was probably only a year or two before this one, or right around the same time. Tigglyfoot also asked, what position do both of you sleep in?
I don't know. I'm asleep.
You usually sleep on your back.
Yeah.
But sometimes on your side.
Yeah.
I usually sleep on my side. I don't know. I usually fall asleep on my stomach. But then, like, when I wake up, I always kind of go over on my right side, usually. But I can sleep in any position, really. Because I have a thing where it's like I'll wake up in the middle of the night because if I have to go to the bathroom, and then I'll come back in and I'll be like, lay on my stomach for a little while, that's not comfortable, and I lay on this side for a while and that's not comfortable, and then I lay on my back and that's also not comfortable, and then I try to lay on the other side, and then I'm just not comfortable. You know what I mean? And there's no other positions left. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Eventually I will fall asleep though. But holy shit, like last night I got up like 4 fucking times to pee. I don't even know why. I didn't drink any more than usual. Yeah, Hattie said ferrets only became pets around the 70s. Before then, they were working animals on farms using to hunt rabbits. Yeah, like you said. Bee's Nest said somebody unmodded him. Well, is that the same account that you were using before? Because I thought that was like a different. Because that looks like a different name.
Yeah. What's his account name now?
It's Bee's Nest, but then the S is a 3. Does that make any sense? You know what I mean? Oh, Phil Metal Nosferatu asked, Tom, did you ever see the pictures I messaged you of my uncle's Jack Daniels golf cart? Yeah, I remember he was talking about that.
Yeah, I think I did, but I don't remember it that much.
Yeah, High Desert said there's a Stephen King story about this guy who auto-cannibalized himself on a desert island. That's what I was thinking of. It's called Survivor Type. They did a, on the newer Creep Show that's on Shudder, they did an animated segment of that, and it was pretty good. She's got lots of questions.
Yeah.
These are good though.
Tigglyfoot's trying to move in with us.
These are good though.
You looking to get in a Tom and Jenny sandwich or something? You looking for a couple?
Just like everyone else is.
Everybody trying to get in a Tom and Jenny sandwich.
What's one thing the other does that drives you nuts?
What?
What's one thing that the other does that drives you nuts?
Nothing Jenny does drives me nuts.
Really?
Nothing I can remember.
I find that hard to believe. I drive myself nuts.
No.
With certain things. Especially with my, like, fucking anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get super anxious about stuff.
Every now and then you'll start snickering and shit and fucking, you know. Like, man, stop it. Like a little kid.
He plays the TV too loud.
Yeah.
He plays the TV too loud, and then he'll blast his tablet at the same time.
Then I'll yell at something.
And then he'll be yelling, and I'm all the way down. My office is directly, like, way the fuck on the other side of the house and I can hear all of it.
I'll yell at some shit I saw.
From here.
I'll yell at the kitty. I fucking hate you, bitch. And I'll yell at the cat.
Stop it, Pookie.
Yeah. Because she fucks with me all fucking day.
Yeah, she just wants attention from Daddy all the time.
Yeah. I can't get away with it. If I'm here, Pookie's fucking underfoot.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey. And then she'll run for me and run up to the fucking window and fucking smack the shades. And then run. You know, hey, fuck, you can stop it. No, stop it.
Because she knows that Daddy will get mad and pay attention.
Yeah. And if I yell really loud, I'll yell and she'll get lower and lower to the ground as she's running and stop right at my feet and go,
Punish me, Daddy. She's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
She's weird, Arcady.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, she says, do you make your bed every day?
We both make the bed when we get up.
We don't.
We don't make it like, we just put the cover.
We just kind of throw the covers on it. It's not like super neat.
It's
not super neat or anything.
And then throw the pillows up.
You know what I mean?
Our bed's like, it's king size. It's got lights and shit. It's all porned out. Looks like a porn bed.
Yeah, the headboard.
The headboard's got
has like a light. It's not usually on because it would
Yeah.
keep me awake, but but you can turn the light on back there, and it's all different colors.
This guy, you have USB charging ports up there, so we can charge all the fucking vibrators and all the sex toys.
So
Giant
that's the
dildos
like when
and
people
shit.
come. This is for real. Like when people come over, we have to like
Because
because
hide all the sex toys.
we're just so used to like it's like, oh my god, we have to put the sex doll in the closet and like stuff all the dildos in the drawer and like put all the vibrators. It's because I don't want to make other people uncomfortable. Like put the lube away. It's like you know what I mean? Because it's like we just leave the shit out because we don't usually have people here. So it's like we don't really think about it. But then like when people are coming over, we're like, what do we gotta hide? Where can we put it?
When we were making all those videos, you're gonna have to fucking have some fucking props. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you can get used to those props. You go, yeah, get that. You know what I mean? Fucking, it just becomes part of the routine.
Yeah. So we just had them
It's all
like
just
kind of
fun.
laying around.
Yeah.
Like we didn't really hide them or anything. It's like I think for a while we had some of them on the shelf back there behind the camera. But I think when somebody was coming over, so we had to clean it up.
I get some outrageous shit for it too. Next one, I'm gonna give her a big old horse dick, big old rubber horse dick, like 2 foot long.
Yeah.
Here, hold this.
We have.
Here, hold this.
I mean, I can't get that in.
You can't do nothing with it. Just tell her hold it.
But you know what I mean.
It's
we have
funny
some
shit.
that we have some that we just got like for show.
Yeah.
You can't
really use them.
You can't really use them for their intended purpose.
No.
I mean, you can, but it's like super painful.
Yeah.
Like it's not pleasurable at all.
Just for videos and stuff.
So, but they look good on camera. So we
Yeah.
got some like that, like some weird like monster ones and stuff.
Some of it look like they're just spikes, real crooked and fucking rubber spikes on them. And
Yeah,
shit.
like all kind of
It's nothing.
things sticking out.
Yeah.
Nodules.
Yeah. Fucking looks like a dragon dick.
Yeah. But, you know, we have a couple dog ones, but they're not
Yeah.
huge, though.
Yeah. Just anything that's fucking cakey.
Yeah,
It
he
looks
likes
good on
anything
camera.
anything that's, like, not right.
Yeah. It's all gotta be wrong.
Like, Tom's really into that.
Well, it's also if you're gonna make those kind of videos, that's what you get. There's competition. That's what everybody else uses. So
Yeah.
It's part of the trends. There's trends in every art form.
Yeah. Nick says, do you guys have to sleep with background noise like a fan?
I do.
Yeah, I don't generally like... Now, we do have fans. We have a column fan on it, but that's because it's hot. Like, I have to have air
We
blowing
got
on me
two column fans, one on either
when
side.
I sleep or I can't sleep.
One on each nightstand.
Because it's too... Even
Yeah.
with the AC on, it's, like, too hot for me. I get hot. So,
Yeah.
we have to have fans blowing on. But I like quiet.
Yeah.
Tom usually listens to...
Headphones.
Yeah, he has his earbuds in.
Yeah.
Because he has to have noise to sleep. I don't understand. I can't sleep with noise, but... Unless I'm really tired. Like, if we're watching a movie and I'm, like, really, really sleepy, I can fall asleep when there's noise, but generally I can't. And, like, if there's, like, a little bit of noise, it'll wake me up.
I mostly just listen to, like, some kind of... Like a science show. I really like Event Horizon. Because it's interesting. And they got good guests on there. And I'll get into what they're talking about, and that'll lull me to sleep. If I'm not real interested in it, my mind will wander.
Yeah.
And I'll stay awake. It's something I have to focus on. Now, another thing that will put me to sleep is the sound of jet turbines. If it sounds like an airfield or an airport, but when I can hear the jet engines, I'll fall asleep pretty quick. But it's not as fun as listening to something, like people talking.
Yeah.
Because at least you're getting some information,
See, I can't, because then I kind of feel like I'll just be listening to people talking and it'll keep me awake, Plus, I like to be able to hear, like, if one of the kitties, like, if they get hurt or something like that, like, in the middle of the night, I like to be able to hear, if something happens.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, I only have one headphone in. I can hear if something happens outside.
Zach says, what's a dining experience you had you described as orgasmic?
I don't really look at food that way.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever had anything that fucking good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some stuff that Tom has made was like, made me just go, aw, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, most of the stuff he
Restaurants aren't very good anymore.
I do like that Thai place we
Thai
go to
restaurant's good.
in Mount Dora. Their stuff is really good. Especially their massaman curry is really good.
And
Like the first time I ate that, I was like, oh.
Fifth Element Indian is pretty good.
Yeah.
But thing it's hit and miss. You don't really know what's going to be on that buffet.
Yeah, because it's a buffet, so it's like they always have different stuff.
Right.
What would be you guys? High Desert is asking. What would be your guys' dream trip? Ooh. I don't know. There's a lot of places that I would like to go because I haven't been a lot. You know, I've really only been around the U.S. and to the UK. I haven't really been anywhere else. But I don't know. We talked about Japan.
Yeah, we could get in a lot of trouble in Japan.
We probably would, yeah. We'd get in a lot of trouble anywhere, probably. I feel like.
The thing is that Japan's expensive.
Yeah.
And the place.
But he's just talking about if you could go anywhere that you
Korea
and money wasn't an issue.
I've been to Korea. I've lived there for a year when I was in the army. I'd be more comfortable in Korea, and it's cheaper, and less touristy. But really, what I was seeing lately is it'd probably be pretty cool to go to, like into China, a good Chinese city. And the thing is that China doesn't have a club scene. It doesn't have a club culture. You know, not like the West. A lot of times a nightclub is kind of synonymous with a brothel. You know what I mean? Or something kind of like that. The girls that are in there are not customers; they work there. You know, which that's not a club, if you ask me. That's not how clubs work. I don't know if they're all like that, but evidently the popular ones are like that.
Oh, Tigglyfoot asking about when we were saying about the dildos and stuff.
What'd she say?
It's like, have you ever accidentally left something out and someone found it?
No.
Not that I remember. Like I said, we don't have people over that often.
If it was any of our friends, they would just go, "Oh, all right, yeah."
And like I said, if it was any of everybody, they know us, so they just be like, "Oh, that figures." Yeah. You know what I mean?
And they're like us anyway.
And then Ben says, it's always funny when some serious professional is on a video call and someone spots a bong or a dildo in the background. Oh yeah, it's happened. I've seen the screenshots. I don't think
what was
I've
in
ever,
the background?
A bong or a dildo.
A bong or a dildo.
Tigglyfoot says, I prefer to be woken up to sex. I'm hornier when I'm in the middle of sleeping. I don't know why.
Yeah, Jen tells me to wake her up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But I always like guilty. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it.
No. And it's better if I don't have to go, well, because since I work remotely, I don't have to get up super, super early. Like, if it was before, when I was working in Daytona and I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, then yeah, I'd be like, please don't wake me up. But it's like, now it's like, I don't really mind as much. I was like, hey.
Jen will throw down in the morning a lot of times.
We do, yeah.
I wake up ready to go.
Yeah, we usually do. We do it a lot in the morning, or sometimes in the evening.
So in the middle of the day, every now and then.
Or sometimes in the middle of the day. Like,
I'll come in here and see how busy she is.
Yeah, if I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah. If not, I'll tear it up right here.
Like right just there, on the rug,
on the ground. We fucked around this whole fucking place. We fucked this place up. We used to work in here when we were streaming on Streambait.
Yeah, because we streamed from the same
from this
computer, so
same
we used
computer, but it had a different camera set up with a light on it. So
yeah,
I could grab it in hand. I could go POV.
Yeah, and then we had like the chairs back there, and so they could see like full body and stuff like that. But yeah. See, we said Tom be cleaning his Viagra drawer when guests be visiting.
No, I don't give a shit about cleaning Viagra. Actually, I like Cialis better than Viagra. Yeah. I've done them both.
Yeah.
They're both good.
The Cialis tends to work better, or like work more consistently.
Yeah, Viagra. But it may have been the source. You know, I'm getting kind of, I wouldn't say bootleg stuff, but it's generic, and some of the sources may not have been good. Some of the stuff that I got looked like it was out of date. That one time I was having a problem with Viagra, that bottle was in a packaging from like fucking 7-8 years ago. So it may not have been full strength. I don't know how long those pills last.
Right, yeah.
Because, you know.
Yeah, we didn't really know like what that must have been. May have been a bad batch, or
bad batch, old, or it was old. I think it was old stock.
Because they seemed like they weren't as effective as the other ones.
Yeah. What's weird is, you know, that's just part of your protocol. If you're going on HRT when you're an older guy, you're going to be on test. You're going to be on fucking Clomid. HCG is another one that I'll take maybe a couple times a year. I'll take HCG. I like that one. That's a human gonadotropin. It's a pituitary gland stimulant. It's made out of the pregnant horse piss. the piss out of a pregnant mare. You inject that into your bloodstream, and fucking if you're a guy, you will have a fucking conniption fit. Your endocrine system's like, what the fuck is that? You're pregnant? And it's like,
how did that happen?
How the fuck did that happen? And
all right.
It's kind of like kicking your pituitary gland with a fucking boot. Bow! Something's wrong, and it fucking wakes up every one of your other glands. So you just start producing a lot of testosterone, stomach acids, everything.
What's going on with this?
All your
Fix it.
You're like, whoa! You feel so much better. You're like, wow! Like after you inject that shit, like a day later, you're like, whoa! You're fucking feeling great. But it's expensive. That's why I don't take it all the time. Some people take it all the time. But what that does is it. If you inject testosterone, it's the same as if a woman starts injecting estrogen. It'll shut down her cycle, and it'll act as birth control. It'll do the same thing with a man. You put testosterone in there, it'll shut your nuts down. You'll be shooting blanks. Well, I don't want to shoot blanks. Some dudes do. They just say, fuck it. I don't care. I'm not trying to get anybody pregnant.
Yeah.
I like to see some shit. I like to shoot some shit out.
I mean, hopefully you're not trying to get anybody pregnant. But
yeah. But I like to shoot some shit out.
Can't get me pregnant because
yeah.
I'm too old for that shit. But
so
thankfully,
you take Clomid, and Clomid, basically what it does is it blinds the receptor sites in your nuts, so it can't tell how much. It can't see all the testosterone you're injecting into your body. It doesn't see any testosterone at all. So it goes, I'm low on test. So it kicks your nuts into action. So your nuts make tests. So not only are you injecting test, you're making it. And it doesn't shut down your reproductive cycle. You're still reproductive. You're blasting off all kinds of fucking splooge. So you take that. Well, it's good when you're in your 50s at least, to take sexual performance drugs. It's a lot better. Fucking the quality of your shit is fucking okay, you gotta look at it this way. Boobs are pretty cool. Boobs are very nice. But there's a difference between boobs and implants. Implants are fucking boobs, but they're always stage ready. You know what I mean? They're the best they're the best your boobs are ever gonna look is when they have the implants in there. Put a bigger set in there and it's bigger boobs. You know what I mean? They just look fucking hot. That's kind of like, what was I fucking thinking about?
You're talking about sexual performance drugs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of what Viagra and sexual performance drugs are. Your fucking hard on is it's like the difference of a it's like the difference of a fucking mortal man's hard on and a fucking porn hard on. It's because all those dudes in porn are on that shit.
Well, yeah, you kind of got to.
Yeah, they're on it. They're on all kinds of shit.
It's a
one of the ones they take is Trimix. They fucking inject it right in there. Fucking, but don't take Trimix. I talked to guys that have done it in the industry. You'll never go back. Once you take Trimix, you're gonna have like a fucking, what do you call it? A psychological dependency on Trimix.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of feel like that's a danger with anything like that. Yeah.
They got dudes that are fucking have been on fucking Viagra and sexual performance drugs since the age of 18. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. You would think after a while it wouldn't work anymore.
No, it works on them. It's just that I think it's psychological.
Yeah.
Either that or their testosterone's low, or maybe it's what do you call it? Their confidence is low. They're afraid they're not going to perform
without it. Yeah.
So what they do is they take it and then they perform. Me, I perform well when I forget that I didn't take it.
Yeah.
It's partially psychological.
Yeah.
Partially psychological. Like there'd be times where I haven't taken it in a long time, but I forgot.
Yeah.
And I'll fucking throw down, and it's kind of like I was on it. Because the
and
mind
then
has a lot
later
to
it'd
do.
be like, oh wait.
Like shit, I wasn't even on anything. Because I buy enough of it, you know what I mean, where I could fucking take it every day. People who've never done it, they think that, well, shit, you take that pill and you fucking automatically walk around with a boner all day. No.
No, it doesn't.
It's totally normal.
Doesn't work like that.
You have a good dick day, your shit'll be meaty. You can take a picture of it anytime you want to. Like,
That's what it cracks me up when he's just like.
I'll come in and.
Because sometimes he'll just come in and be like, "Hey, I'm having a good dick day," and he'll just like show me and then just leave.
Fucking pop that shit out. And you're like, yeah, that is a good.
It is a good dick day.
Yeah,
Get that.
Shit looking like this. Looking like a fucking cowbasa. All right. All fucking nose heavy and shit. All right. You walking that shit fucking shifting from side to side. But the yeah. So you like that. And then the second fucking you start fucking getting involved in anything, you're ready. You just and it is kind of like eliminates performance anxiety. Because like, well, shit, I'm on drugs. This is gonna
it'll be all right.
This will be all right. So your shit fucking
it'll respond like immediately.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's not like even a partial chub, but like as soon as you start doing something, it's like
just boom. Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. There's a lot less stress because you're not fucking thinking like, well, fucking, is this shit gonna? What if I can't get it up?
Right.
Fucking, when you're on that shit, it doesn't even cross your mind.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think it's psychological. I think
yeah, I'm sure it's partially.
Because I looked at the mechanism by which it worked one time, and I was like, well, shit, it's not really that powerful. So it does do some stuff, but I think the biggest thing is placebo.
Yeah.
Maybe. I could tell the difference between Viagra and Cialis.
Yeah.
I can tell the difference. Cialis is more subtle, but it works. Viagra's fucking, it's kind of like, I want to say it's like stronger in a way. It's more obtrusive though. You can like feel that you're on something. It's weird. Sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't. Your shit's fucking good to go.
Mm-hmm.
You can bust a nut and you're still fucking ready.
Yeah, that's happened a few times.
Yeah, you're like, I can do this again. Let's go.
Yeah, like 5-10 minutes later.
Never even went down. Let's do this again. Never even went down. But there's another one that they'll use in the porn industry called Trimix. It's an injectable. They inject it right.
Yeah, Tigglyfoot asked about that.
Okay.
I think it's Tigglytoot. I keep saying
yeah.
I keep saying foot, but it's like I can't really see all that good. So
it's three things. It's injectable Cialis and injectable Viagra and something else. I forgot what it was, but I think it's basically what it is. And they inject it directly in, and you immediately, boom, whether you're aroused or not, you just fucking got a hard on. And for like a long time, 6 hours, 7 hours, it'd be like that. It's used mostly by straight guys doing gay porn.
Yeah.
That's like the fucking main ones that use it, or dudes that are going to be in gangbangs.
Yeah, because you're going to be doing a lot of
standing
standing around.
They're going to do a lot. They do a lot of standing around, waiting, looking stupid, around these other dudes running around in their socks and shit, fucking dicks in the hand. You're like, man, this shit fucking sucks. How long did you get in there? Yeah, it's her too. Why her? Because they may not like that chick.
Yeah, well.
But but evidently that one's so strong. Yeah, Bill was telling me about it. Bill said fucking Bill Neal, he's in the porn industry. He's a producer. His wife is a fucking star. Okay. Minor star. She's known as what's her name? Amy. I'm trying to remember what her porn name is. Amy Quinn. Little redhead. He was telling me about that one. He says, do not fuck with that. He says, once you fuck with that, all your other hard-ons will feel inferior compared to that one, and you'll start fucking getting fucking self-conscious. And you'll wish that you were on Trimix. And then thinking about Trimix, you'll lose your hard-on. Because if you're on Trimix, you're bigger and better than you've ever been.
Yeah.
Because evidently your shit's fucking get big. Because this shit's like super inflated. He says that shit hurts. That sometimes they have to fucking to get the they said that some dudes will have a weird reaction And to get the dick to go down, it'll turn fucking purple. And it won't go down.
Well, that's never a good sign.
And it starts pinching off fucking blood vessels.
Yeah.
They have to fucking make a small incision and allow blood to drain blood
Every
from it.
Every dude listening just went...
Yeah, they go... Yeah. It's a place where they can cut to make an incision to let the blood out of it. So it'll go down enough for proper blood flow to start happening again. The blood pressure gets too high in there. But evidently, like in some cases, a dude is a fucking inch longer and a much bigger girth. Kind of like he's under one of them damn vacuum fucking pumps.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, like a penis pump.
Yeah. Those things feel good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a pussy pump.
Yeah, yeah. All those pumps feel good.
Yeah.
It's like torture, but
yeah,
like,
it kind of hurts, but
it hurts. Pain and pleasure mixed
feels
together.
kind of good too at the same time.
Yeah.
Full Metal Nosferatu says repeats of MST3K is perfect on weekend mornings to sleep to.
She loves that shit.
Oh my god! I used to. Well, what I used to do.
She was watching it yesterday.
Yeah, Riff Tracks. I was watching
Tracks,
some Riff Tracks last night. They had a couple on there. There was one with like a Lorenzo Lamas movie, like from the 90s. That shit was fucking hell. He was like a bounty hunter, bounty tracker. That's what it was called. But I watched that one. And what I used to do when I lived by myself was I would just put on. I had these. I had taped. You know, back when you had videotape, I had taped all the MSTs off of the Sci-Fi Channel, and so I had like 3 of them on a tape. So I would just leave the tape on like during the day, like while I was going around, because I used to work at night. So when I was going around cooking or cleaning the house or whatever, so I always had MST on in the background. That's why I remember so many of the lines and stuff like that, because I've seen them so many times. Tiggly says, "Do you guys have birthmarks?" No, I have a mole, but it's small, just like on my abdomen, like in the middle of my abdomen, but it's pretty small. But I probably would have been burned as a witch. That's like a witch's teat. That's what I used to call it back when I was a kid. I was like, it's my witch's teat. Yeah. They would poke it with a stick and then burn me at the stake.
I don't know all the porn stars. I just know some of the ones around here.
Yeah, he knows one guy that's I mean, we know a couple that have done porn, like that are friends of ours that just happen to do porn. Yeah. But he knows one guy that's a producer that's
he knows all the other ones.
And he knows all the other ones, yeah.
Well, also, there's the 2 big boob girls. Fucking,
yeah.
Pinky Powers.
Pinky Powers.
And fucking, what was her?
I can't remember the other girl's name. I haven't seen her in a long time. Yeah, we used to see her at the fetish parties.
Yeah, little short girls with fucking huge fake boobs. Like beach ball size. Yeah. 6,000 cc implants.
Zach says, "What's the weirdest place y'all have banged?" Nowhere weird, really. Yeah. That park, I guess. But that park where nobody goes. Yeah. Well, hello there says, this is very funny. The top of Tom's skull would make a great bowl for Jenny to eat out of if you were stuck on an island and he had to be sacrificed for food. Just want to be clear about that. Full Metal Nosferatu says, sorry if this is TMI, no such thing. But got a vasectomy at age 37 because I just didn't want to have kids of my own. I'm 50 now. It's the best decision I ever made. Yeah, honestly, I think I was probably 14 or 15 years old when I was like, you know what? I don't really think I want any kids ever. And it wasn't like I didn't have experience with it. Cause like I have 3 younger siblings who were actually all lovely and weren't brats or anything like that. I actually got along with them really well. Actually, we're all going to Disney on Tuesday with all my siblings and my mom. So, because my sister's coming down from Atlanta. But I had a bajillion cousins that were always over, and my parents ran a daycare for a while. So I was around children all the time, and I was just kind of like, you know, it's not for me, you know?
Jen already raised kids.
And yeah, and my mom was kind of, oh, you'll change your mind when you get older and stuff like that, but I really never did. Because we were kind of talking about this last night, I don't remember what brought it up, but I was like, the thing that always got me was that I always felt like if you're going to have kids, you better be fucking sure that you want kids, because you can't take it back. You know what I mean? It's like if you have one and you decide you don't like it, not a lot you can do. I guess you can put them up for adoption, I suppose, but you know, that's kind of a shitty thing to do. So I was just kind of like, I just wasn't sure. I was like, I just have a feeling that if I did it, that I wouldn't like it. You know what I mean? Plus all the shit that it does to your body and everything like that. I was just like, I just don't want to go through all of that. And, you know, a couple times I was like, maybe. But then I was like, nah, because what if it sucks? And it's like, I don't want to risk it. You know what I mean? And I haven't, and I've never regretted it. Not ever. I just don't have, it's weird because my mom is like she loves kids. I mean, like I said, she had 4 of us, and she grew up in a big family. She has 7 brothers and sisters. And she just loves being around kids, you know, she just loves kids. And, you know, and I just didn't get that gene, man. I just really didn't. That's why I think that maternal instinct thing, I think that might be at least partially bullshit, because I'm like, I don't have that. I mean, maybe I have it toward cats. I don't really have it toward human children. Because maybe people would be like, hey, look at my baby. I'm just like, yeah, great. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have that, ooh, what a cute baby. I'm just like, don't give it to me. I don't want it. But, you know what I mean? And it's funny, too, because my other siblings, well, my brother that's 4 years younger than me, him and his wife had 2 boys. She had 2 girls from a previous marriage, but they're, like, pretty much grown now. But they had 2 boys who were also pretty much grown now, which is weird. I saw him at my stepdad's funeral. I'm like, holy crap, you're huge. You're like a person. Because last time I remember seeing him, he was like fucking a little kid. But then my sister, you know, she's been in a long-term relationship. She didn't really want to have kids. And then my youngest brother, who is, how the fuck old is he? He's got to be pushing, he's probably in his 30s, I guess. And he's married, and they don't really seem that interested in having kids either. So I was at least my one brother, Eric, at least he kind of took the pressure off the rest of us. Because I think my mom was kind of bummed that the rest of us didn't really want to have any kids. You know what I mean? But, oh well. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Good dick day. Yeah, I totally want to make Tom a shirt that says that. That would be so funny. Yeah, Taylor said, I've had wives come back in and you can tell that they're exhausted because all of a sudden their husband is wanting to bone all day, every day. I mean, I don't know. I guess I never really had that problem because I always, ever since I can remember, I always had like a very high sex drive, so it doesn't bother me. Like, you know, if he wants to go a few times a day, that's fine with me. As long as I'm not super busy. Yeah, Tigley was saying that, talking about dudes going on Viagra and stuff like that. And said, I've had wives come back in and you can tell that they're exhausted because all of a sudden their husband is wanting to bone all day, every day.
Yeah. All right, you guys wanted to see, Tigley wanted to know what the bedroom looked like.
Oh, okay.
I made a video. Wonder if there's any way I could send this video to you and you can play it on there.
No.
No?
Because you have to go through this. It's a whole ordeal.
Hold on. That's the ceiling. I got a fucking galaxy. There's the bed.
What's that pink thing?
That's the ceiling.
No.
What
the
pink?
The pink thing that was on the bed. I can't really see because
there's no pink thing on the bed.
Oh, it looks.
It's just the lights. I'm showing the artwork. Hold on, I'm getting in there.
You're getting like just
vampire girls. Paintings of vampire girls. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Big boob Morticia.
Big boob Morticia. That's the bed. So those are the lights of the bed. There you go. I'm looking at it here. It looks like something out of down. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Look like lights from an alien spacecraft.
Oh yeah, I said Papa 77 said Tom knows all the porn stars. LOL. Yeah, most of the ones he remembers were from his formative years. I kind of feel like he just remembers
back in the 90s.
From back in the 90s. But
Yeah.
he knows some of the ones
that
nowadays, but-
I know the new popular ones.
Yeah.
But they have to have a social media presence.
Yeah, like I said, he's a porn connoisseur.
I'm not a connoisseur. I just
I mean, kind of.
most guys know.
Yeah.
Most guys know. You just want to know. I've always liked it. I grew up watching it. I was always interested in that industry and who those people were. And in the 90s, you couldn't find out much about these people. You could only imagine what they were like. But now, you can see they're running YouTube shows. They got their little Twitch channels. You get to know you get to know them.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more interesting now.
Yeah, it's kind of better because
Yeah.
you get to know them as like personalities. Because it's interesting
To hear their life
to hear
stories.
like what their life is like
Yeah.
what it's like doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I find that interesting all thing.
A lot of the big name ones that are well known. I'm not talking about the OnlyFans girls, like those two British girls or that Australian girl. What was her name? Fucking Trixie Blue. No, not Trixie. I don't remember. Those girls are fucking nuts. Trying to do 500 men in a day, 1,000 men fucking gangbangs and shit. It's fucking crazy. It's like a few seconds each guy. Those girls are just...
I mean, that's just a stunt.
Yeah, they're not even really doing it for money. They're making money.
Yeah.
They're worth about $1 million apiece, those two girls. But they're doing that shit just for attention.
Yeah.
That's really what they're doing. And fucking, you hear that one girl, I saw interviews with her. The one girl's really into it. The other girl, she's just doing it because she didn't have anything else.
Right.
And she said some shit that I was like, man, that's kind of fucked up. She's like, well, I don't really have any friends. And I was like, that was like a weird thing to say,
That is a weird
So I don't
thing
really
to say.
have any real friends. This is all I'm good for. And I was like, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of sad though.
Yeah, yeah.
She might need some therapy.
She just kind of got caught up into it.
I mean, she might have a really low self-esteem.
yeah,
issues
yeah.
and stuff
Well,
like
she-
that.
The problem is with this shit, and I've kind of talked about this before on other shows. Some people get involved. Most people get involved with that type of industry way too young, before their personalities are fully developed.
Yeah.
They haven't lived a normal life. They haven't been married. They don't have kids. They never lived a normal life.
Yeah.
They got into that shit in their teens, in their formative years, and the normal life was no longer available to them anymore. So now they just
Now
have
you're
to.
kind of stuck in
They're
it.
stuck, right? And the guys that those girls in porn, okay, don't believe a word they fucking say when it comes to. It's mostly show business what they're doing. Those girls actually need love. They're looking for love. They want relationships like a normal woman.
Yeah.
Some of them have it, but it's like may not be with the guy they really want it to be with. You know what I mean? And the way the relationship isn't exactly. And other ones just for as long as they're in the industry, they're not gonna be happy. They're not gonna find what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And they don't really like making the porn. They just like the money. And it's an obstacle to a normal relationship and a normal life.
Yeah.
And another thing that average person doesn't realize is that they're escorting too, most of
Yeah.
them. So they're hookers also.
Which to me would be way harder than just doing porn, but
No, a lot of them say that escorting's easier. But it's more damaging.
well, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Like, more damaging on a social level.
yeah.
Because there are some guys that will date porn stars.
Yeah.
And even marry them. They're in that industry, or they know the dudes from the industry. They go, oh yeah, this is mostly a hoax anyway. Yeah, they have sex, but he's married to another chick, and this one's over there, and he's all right. You know what I mean? That's okay, dude. I don't really mind that type of shit. They're just making a movie. It's not real because there's a bunch of rules. Like
Well, you'd have to have.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like people that aren't in porn but do quote unquote ethical non-monogamy, or like people that are polyamorous or whatever.
Yeah, right.
It's like you have to have even more rules because you have to know what everyone's boundaries are.
Yeah.
It's like what everyone is willing to do and what they're not willing to do, and it's like what's okay and what's not, and all of a sudden you have to negotiate all of that.
I've heard girls in porn say, I don't care if my boyfriend has sex with that girl as long as he's just busting a nut on her face. But if I ever caught that bitch eating ice cream with her, you know, and they're sharing an ice cream and holding hands and shit.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so it's a totally different...
Because that's more like an emotional connection type of
so
thing.
they're in a more of a different...
Right, yeah.
They're almost like in
It sounds weird, but I understand.
They're in the circus.
Yeah.
What they're doing in front of the camera and shit, or even sometimes in swingers clubs, they're putting on a show. They don't...
Yeah, it's
They've kind of
serious.
distanced themselves from what they're doing. They're kind of compartmentalizing it. And they're fetishizing it, and it's not... For them, it's not normal, intimate sex. It's like a sport or fun.
Well,
or business.
Well, and like I said, when they're filming it, it's not like real sex anyway, because you have to keep stopping in the middle so they can change.
Yeah, they're taking breaks. And they're
taking breaks and like different angles and shit like that. Like nothing that you would do.
They're getting pissed off because they got to redo shit.
Right, that's what I mean. So it's like not really the same thing. But yeah, so that makes total sense to me.
No, but I heard one girl said, "No, I don't care. I fucking saw him fucking busting a load all over the fucking girl's face. He had a good time." I was like, "Yeah, you get it, that kind of shit." And he goes, "But if I ever caught that bitch holding hands with her, and they're eating ice cream or something and whispering on each other, it's just I'd fucking go crazy."
Well, yeah.
You know, that's what that girl
like
said.
I said, that's like a that's like a dating
like a betrayal
emotional connection.
Yeah. So they have all these weird things that you wouldn't think. Those girls would be fucking all these dudes and shit. But afterwards, fucking, when they say cut, it's just dead.
Yeah.
There's no fucking cuddling or anything like that. Fucking, if you go up and cuddle, she's like, "Get the fuck off me."
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't be weird. Don't make it weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it. Like I said, I would probably find it difficult to separate, but I understand why you would after a while.
They got the shit all separated
Yeah,
up.
you'd have to.
And, trying to think of fucking another example. I almost fucking talked about it. It escaped me. It eluded me now. It doesn't matter. I'll remember it.
Oh, Fullman on Asfarachi said, speaking of MST3K, have you ever seen Cinematic Titanic, the film crew? Riff tracks with the Mads are back. Okay, I have seen a few of the Cinematic Titanics. I have all of the film crew DVDs, actually. I bought them all. I regularly watch riff tracks because they put a bunch of riff tracks up on Amazon Prime and Tubi and stuff like that, like for free, so I watch those all the time. I haven't seen any Mads are back though, but I keep track of all of them. Like if they put a new riff tracks up on Tubi or on Amazon Prime, I'm watching that shit. You know what I mean? And I watch the old MSTs like pretty regularly too if I haven't seen one for a while. Tiggly saying there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a guy get a legit erection after he hasn't been able to in 20 years. It's like someone has breathed life back into them.
I guess she's seen that, huh?
Well, I guess she's like in the medical field, so
okay.
I'm like working on that, like ED.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
so she must knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because she asked about Trimix like earlier too. So
talking about what?
She asked about Trimix and stuff too.
Trimix, yeah. I'm not sure Trimix is a real medicine. I've seen offers for it. Yeah, okay. Fucking through the dealers, the international websites for my dealers, my smugglers, you know what I mean? They have it, and that was offered, along with all the other sexual performance drugs. I saw the Trimix, and I was like, "Oh, that's that shit fucking Bill was telling me about." It was an injectable, pretty expensive, but I didn't look at the dosage and how much. I mean, that might have been enough to fucking pop 1,000 erections for all I know, but you know, I wouldn't do it. And I have no problem giving myself injections. I'd inject myself in the dick. I'd have no problem with that. The problem is I'd be afraid of getting addicted to that. Because fucking Bill said this shit was highly addictive.
That would be an issue.
They said fucking once you've had that kind of hard on, you don't want any other kind of hard on. It's kind of like...
So you'd have to do it like all the time.
You're like, man, this is all right, but this isn't as good as fucking as it was last time. Give me that fucking needle.
Yeah.
Evidently that's
so you'd
what
be
happened.
like a junkie, a dick junkie.
You're addicted.
Oh.
Ain't that some shit? That's just what he said, you know what I mean? And fucking there was some corroborating testimony that corroborated that. So I don't really want to fuck with that.
I don't.
If it can make a gay dude, if it can make a straight dude fuck a gay dude in the ass, okay, That's a hell of a hard-on.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. All those top gay porn guys are straight. They're tops, though. They fuck gay guys. They're kind of like the bulls that they bring in. And according to all the fucking girls in the porn industry, they date those guys sometimes. Or they work with them, too, and during scenes. And it's just they're all straight. She says that's kind of strange to hang out with them. You know what I mean? Fucking, because they'll be fucking the shit out of you, and then they can all of a sudden act like they're your gay besties, but he's a straight guy. It's just kind of, they're kind of in. And one of the ones they were talking about was a big old black dude. And married. I think one of the guys was married. But in that industry, the best looking guys are going to end up in the gay scene. That's where all the money is.
Yeah, Papa 77 just said
that's
that.
Where all the
gay
money
porn pays more.
Oh, it's a lot more. It's
Well,
like
yeah, because
it's like 5 times more.
Because dudes are looking at the dudes.
Yep.
In straight porn, dudes aren't looking at the dudes.
Yep.
They're looking
in
at
a straight
the
porn, the dude is not the draw.
Yeah.
The dude, the male customer that bought that shit really doesn't give a fuck about that dude. So he's just a stunt dick. You don't even hardly see him. You just probably see his dick. You don't even see his face.
Yeah.
So he's not the draw. In gay porn, that dude is the draw. So he's the moneymaker. So
yeah.
he's fucking, he's worth a lot more.
CB says, Jenny, when you're 90, are you going to have hundreds of cats all over the house? Probably not, but don't tempt me. Every time we go to like PetSmart or something like that, if we're at the mall across from the Chinese place, then we'll go in PetSmart and look at the kitties.
Jen is very reasonable and very stable.
I'm like, we could take these kitties home. We have room. But no, it's like, seriously, I wouldn't want more cats than I could take care of, and honestly, we have 3, and they're not a burden, but they're a lot to take care of. So I don't know if I'd want. You know what? We were thinking about maybe another one, but
yeah, we can take another one.
We could do another one.
Now, Jen's very different. I've been with a lot of women. Married another one. She was pretty good too. Jen though fucking has a lot of unique personality traits. And the thing that fucking really that kept drawing me back, coming back to her, was that she was very intelligent and very logical and reasonable, and everything just flows real smoothly. And a lot of women aren't like that. A lot of women are fucking erratic, kind of emotional. You don't really know who it is you're dealing with. They're guarded. They don't fucking tell you about how they feel. What they feel and stuff. Jen's not like that at all. Jen has a lot of feminine qualities. She's a woman, of course, but her psychology is very kind of male. Her thinking strategy is very male, very organized, very logical, very disciplined thinker, which is tough for a woman to do. And it's not because women aren't intelligent; it's because women have hormones in them that fucking fuck them up. I know. I've had those same hormones in me. A lot of progesterone, estrogen, make you very insecure. It's double second guessing. And
well, I have that too.
Yeah, I know. So women have a hard time remaining logical. They're constantly fighting these feelings that aren't really based on reality. They're just based on these hormones that are.
It's kind of a bitch.
Yeah. And they don't teach women anything. They don't teach them about hormones and what they do and fucking, so they don't know how to. They don't teach men anything either. I had to learn all this shit on my own. But a lot of women can't manage their feelings because they don't know why they feel the way they feel.
Well,
they don't know the effects of those. I've fucking done things to myself that fucking made my fucking fucking progesterone levels fucking sky high. A man would never have, not a straight man, would never have that much progesterone in him. And it fucking...
You understand now.
Yeah.
That's how we feel all the time.
Yeah, you go, okay, yeah, I know you're
feeling it. Sucks, right?
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's feelings, though. It's not based on reality.
I know, we know that, though.
Yeah, Yeah,
Women know that,
Right.
but
It makes you very unsure of yourself.
yeah,
Very insecure.
It
and
blows.
that something's wrong.
yeah.
It's that kind of feeling. And
Something's wrong and you did it.
And you did it.
Like, it's your fault.
Exactly.
Logically, and every woman I know is the same.
Yeah.
We're like, logically, you know it's not.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why women talk to you, just like, am I crazy? Like, and
Yeah.
you explain the situation, it's like, is that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you have to kind of get
Right.
second opinions and stuff, because you're not always second guessing yourself.
Yeah. So, you know, I always had a respect and appreciation for Jen and the way she did shit. But once I really started to fuck around with hormones, I got like a deeper understanding of the fucking battles that women fight. You know what I mean? With feelings. Because men don't have those feelings. When your testosterone level is fucking high, you know the feelings. It's just, everything is fucking, you can handle anything. You're extremely stable. You're so stable that you're fucking like pig-headed. Other people are like, do this. You're like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. You're disagreeable. I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing it right. You're doing it wrong. You know, it's just that's the attitude.
It's funny because
Test
dudes are like
does
the
that.
opposite. They are like super, super confident, even when they have absolutely no cause to be.
Yeah. It's testosterone.
Like, a lot of times they will be very confidently 100% wrong.
And they'll be wrong, but they're confident. It's gonna be okay. But the thing is that's what nature selected.
Yeah.
Because dudes that had that survived.
Yeah.
Because
But from our point of view, it's infuriating because it's like, dude, you're wrong.
Men were usually, especially when they were young, in the primitive ages, they were doing shit that was very dangerous. You didn't want them to have any introspection. You didn't want them to have
because if they thought about shit too much, they'd be like,
die.
Well, I don't really want to do that.
I don't want to do this. I could get killed doing this, and then you'll fail. You'll fail as a man. Because you had to do these kind of things. You had to fucking kill that big-ass antelope. Or you had to kill that fucking mammoth. If not, your woman's going to leave you. You know what I mean? And she's trying to feed a baby. So you can't have any introspection. You just got to go, I'm going to heal that thing. Oh, we going to get this. This is going to be fine. It's just a fucking huge elephant. We can take that. That's all it is.
He's a pussy, that elephant.
That fucking pussy-ass fucking elephant. I'm going to fuck that elephant up. When I kill that elephant, I'm going to fuck that elephant in the booty. You know what I'm saying? You are? Say, yeah, well, save me some. You know, this just, you know, they're crazy.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, being crazy is what allowed those guys to survive.
Yeah, crazy
Now,
and kind of dumb.
Yeah. Well, it's not really dumb. It's just a different way of looking at it. It's very direct thinking and very, you know, hierarchy, things being above other things and below others, and rank structures, wolf pack mentality, male on male bonding, you know, using fucking violence and shit like that. That's all testosterone. Hey, we got a super chat.
I know. I was just waiting for you to stop talking so I could say. We got another super chat from Papa77. Thank you very much. Just because we haven't given anything so far this week. Aw, that's very nice of you. Love the show. How about a show on the Happy Face Killer? Yeah, I've been wanting to do one. I put it in the poll, but it didn't win last time.
We didn't get any super chats on the Wednesday show.
We didn't? Oh, I didn't.
Not a single super chat.
Well,
it's towards the end of the month.
It is, yeah.
Everybody's hurting.
It's going to be April 1st on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Gotta pay the rent.
We got a free trip to Disneyland on Tuesday.
Disney World.
Disneyland
is in California.
I know. I call it that because that's where I was used.
Because that's where you grew up.
Used to go. Yeah.
Wait, you haven't been to Disney World, have you? You've been to Disneyland?
Yeah, I've been to Disney World 3 times.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, we've never been together.
Disney World's better.
We've been to Universal together.
Yeah, Universal's better.
I remember going to Universal.
Universal's the best one.
But I know that we haven't. They're opening that new park too.
Yeah.
What the fuck's it called? The one with the 5 different.
They're gonna have Nintendo
worlds.
World.
It's like the Nintendo World, like the Dark Universe world. That's opening in May, I think.
Yeah, Universal's better. But she has family members that live at or that work at Disney.
My brother works at Animal Kingdom.
So we get all kinds of discounts, and her mom's taking the whole family.
Yeah, my mom is like super jacked. She's staying at a hotel because like my sister is coming down from Atlanta. My sister loves Disney. She comes down like a couple times a year and stays like for a week or a few days, gets a nice hotel, does all this other kind of stuff, and goes to all the parks. And she was like, "Hey, I'm coming down." It's like, and my mom said, "Hey, I'll pay for everybody that wants to go." I'm like, "Well, holy shit, okay."
We'll go. Get some of that Disney food. Ride on Tron. Do Splash Mountain. I want to go to the fucking Haunted Mansion again.
Yeah, we'll definitely do.
We got another super chat.
Thank you very much from Papa77.
Again, thanks, Papa.
So I guess I'll just have to pay for that show, LOL.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I did put it in the poll, but it didn't win. I don't remember if I put it in the poll last week or the week before. I don't remember. And CBS, we're going to watch the Happy Face Killer TV series on Paramount Plus. I kind of want to because Dennis Quaid is in it. But I don't know. I don't have Paramount Plus. I guess I could get a free trial and watch it, I guess, but...
See you around, Tigglyfoot. She's leaving.
Yeah. See, it's Tiggly Toot. I kept saying foot because I can't really see it that good because I'm fucking blind. But I think it's Tiggly Toot, actually. So yeah, she's probably gone now, but... She asked
Hello there says 80s porn star PJ Sparks used to live down the street from me back in the 90s. She had to quit the business by then. I saw her around town often. I remember the name, but I forgot what she looked like though. Sparks. I remember the name. PJ Sparks.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they had more over-the-top names, like in the 80s
over the top
and 90s.
names in the 90s, yeah.
Misty
80s
Mountains, all that kind of stuff. Now they just kind of sound like regular names, sort of.
No, they still got people with crazy ass names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't notice them, but I'm not as up on all the porn people as you are, so I don't know.
Bridget Powers is coming up the street here in a couple days. Our friend's going. It's not a strip show though. It's just it's called Mini Maidens, and it's all these little midget girls, midgets and dwarfs, and they put on a show. And Bridget Powers, also known as Bridget the Midget, is in there.
She's lucky her name was Bridget.
Her name isn't Bridget.
I know, she changed.
Her name is actually Sharon.
Yeah, Sharon the midget doesn't really have the same ring
Sharon,
to it.
Yeah. Yeah, she got in trouble a couple years back. Got kicked out. Her boyfriend broke up with her. Her little fucking 4-foot ass got drunk and fucking went back over at his apartment and fucking walked in on him, and he was in bed with another woman, and she freaked out and stabbed him in the fucking leg.
Dang.
And they called the cops.
She wasn't playing.
She was through the fucking they have video of it. She's running around, the cops are saying, "What the hell happened?" He goes, "That motherfucker, he owes me money and this and that." And she's talking about money and he's cheating on me. But they'd already broke up, evidently. She didn't live there anymore. She got fucking all kinds of charges. I don't know what happened to him. Illegal breaking and entering, fucking...
Well, yeah.
Assault and battery with a fucking weapon and all kinds of shit. Stabbed. I don't think she got any time. I think maybe he dropped the charges. I don't know. But that was funny. Bridget Powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bridget Powers or Bridget the Midget?
Bridget the Midget.
Yeah, she's just like a little... She was a goth girl. She was discovered in a goth club.
Full Metal Nosferatu said, I heard a porn name Girth Brooks. Oh, that's pretty good. for a dude, yeah. I guess. I always kind of feel like there was a subtle art to the porn name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can see Bridget Powers' arrest. That shit was fucking funny. There was a fucking charcoal grill out in front of his fucking house. And she grabbed one of the grills off the charcoal and threw it through the window. She was mad, man. She was mad.
I guess so.
She was mad.
Can't blame her, really. I mean, you know.
What's that?
What did he break up with her for?
I don't know. I don't know the details.
Was he cheating on her before?
I don't know. I don't know the details.
Maybe he was, and that's why she was mad.
From what I could tell, and his name was Jesse James. That's what his name was.
Not the Jesse James?
No, not the, but his name was Jesse James. My understanding, they broke up.
Was he a little person too?
No.
Okay.
They broke up. She used to live in that apartment with him.
Right.
Or I don't remember the apartment or a house. It looked like an apartment from what I remembered. But it was like on the ground floor of an apartment, like a duplex, you know,
right.
Type of deal. They broke up, and then I think she got kicked out. All right, and the other girl moved in.
Okay.
And then Sharon or Bridget, she went back over there, trying to probably to get him back. But I don't think she knew that girl moved in with him.
I mean, moving somebody else in that soon after kicking somebody else out, that is usually a sign that they
Yeah,
were
well, that's why
fucking
she was
around
mad.
beforehand.
Yeah. So she walked in there, probably didn't lock the door, or she had keys. You know.
Yeah.
And she was in there and fucking saw him in bed with her, and she fucking started yelling at him, "You motherfucker, this and that." You know, you could hear the aftermath. She was still yelling at him when the cops showed up. And she started, "You motherfucker, this and that," blah, blah, blah. And she ran up to him when he was in bed, and she stabbed him right in the leg with a knife.
Yep.
But it wasn't a knife she was carrying. There was a knife in the room. It was like a kitchen knife or a steak knife or something like that. She stabbed him. Pow. He had to go to the hospital, but it wasn't life-threatening injuries.
Right. She didn't want to kill him. She just wanted to fucking...
What's that?
She didn't want to kill him. She just wanted to...
Just fuck him up.
Make a point. I guess.
She was pissed.
Yeah, I guess
She threw that little charcoal grill through the grill. She pulled the grill off the top of the charcoal fire and fucking threw that shit through the window. And she's like 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's cute. Tight abs and shit. Looks like a normal sized body, normal head, little short arms and legs, like a little wiener dog.
Like a wiener dog.
Little wiener dog chick, yeah.
That's pretty funny. So what? So they're doing a show. Where are they doing it?
Sanford.
Oh, in Sanford.
Yeah.
What are they doing exactly?
Huh?
What kind of show is it?
It's like it's an all female review, but it's not nude.
Oh,
They wear pasties and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And they
So
put
it's
on a
like more
show.
like a burlesque.
Like a
kinda
burlesque show, yeah.
kinda
Like a
show.
burlesque show. Yeah.
When is that?
I can look it up. I saw who was going.
Who's going?
Angel.
She goes to everything.
Yeah, Angel's going to that.
Man, I gotta pee though.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna see when that show's happening. It's called Mini Maidens. Or Micro Maidens. That's what it's called. Micro Maidens. Sanford, Florida. It's at the barn.
So we can find out.
December 10th
Oh, that's a long way.
at the barn.
December 10th.
Yeah, December 10th, 2025, the barn in Sanford.
That's like months and months away.
Months away, towards the end of the year.
Holy crap.
That's what it says here.
How does anybody know
it's
what
called
they're
Micro Maidens?
micro maidens?
Micro Maidens, yeah. That's them. The biggest one's 5 feet.
Oh, okay.
That's Bridget.
That's cute.
That's Bridget Powers.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. That's the show. Hold on.
All right.
That's it. That's Bridget right there.
All dancers are 2'10" to 4
To 4'8", yeah. Well, we got midget wrestling too, and that's a great show.
They did that at iBar one time
Yeah.
a long time ago.
And evidently all those wrestler dudes, they all got hooked up. The girls were all over them. So they were the stars, man.
I could see that.
Yeah. We got some friends that are little people. Old Tito.
Where's he been?
I haven't seen him around.
Haven't seen him in a
Tito
while.
worked for Disney and Universal. He'd play Ewoks or anything you had to be getting a little
Minions.
Yeah. Tito was fucking hilarious, man. He was about my age. He was probably only about that big. Maybe, I don't know, what, 4 feet tall, maybe?
Yeah. Volunteered at an animal shelter, too.
Yeah. And you have to understand something about little people. As small as they are, their fucking egos are like 5 times that. They had another little person, another dwarf guy would show up to the club who was younger and was better looking and could dance. And the fucking girls loved him, and he would sit there and he would just fume. Because I hate that guy, I hate that guy. He says, what do you hate that dude for, man? Come on. Isn't he on your team? He's like, no, fuck that dude, man. Look at him. And I said, yeah, man, he looks good. He's a little bit dwarf. And he goes, you don't understand. There can be only one. There can be only one. He's Hispanic. There can be only one. There can be only one. There could be only one, man. It's like Highlander. Fucking Tito was fucking great, man. Yeah, he wanted to be the only little person, the only dwarf that went to the club. Another one was competition.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And they fight over the women. That's another thing. I was asked. He mostly dated normal-sized women, and I said, "Have you ever dated another dwarf?" And he's like, "No, man, those fucking chicks are whores, man."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, they only go out with normal-sized guys."
Huh.
And I says, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." They leave us out in the cold, man. That's fucked up. He's like that, yeah. He was like that.
Fucking
Yeah,
weird.
they tried to fight for him.
Aw.
But they end up with normal guys. Well, it makes sense. There's not many little people to choose from.
True.
So it's going to be more likely that she's going to find somebody she likes. He's not going to be, he's not going to be a dwarf.
Right.
He's going to be just a cute guy who likes her. And that's kind of, I think, what happens to the men, too. They end up going normal-sized people. Or not at all. Depending on how they look like.
It was just funny, though, how mad he would get, like, when the other
He'd get
dude
mad.
showed
Do
up.
you remember that?
Yeah. I mean, I only remember that other dude showing up, like, maybe
Every time
2
that
or
dude
3
showed
times.
up, he would just start burning up.
But, yeah,
Big
he would
fucking
get,
patterns.
like...
You all right? You all right, man?
He'd get all mad.
I'm going to keep this shit under control, man. I'm going to keep this shit under control. Yeah, it's going to be all right, man. It's going to be all right. He go, hold me back. Hold me back. I'm going to hold you. He was a clown, man. He was fucking hilarious. He was hilarious. He goes, this is what you do, man. You take me up there, man. You fucking throw me off the top into the glass floor. You get one of your friends to catch me.
Yeah,
said,
he asked Tom to throw him off the balcony.
Throw me off the balcony and catch me. Just, who can catch me? And I'll get you in trouble, though, man. That's dwarf toss. That's dwarf toss. I said, yeah, that's dwarf toss. You can get me in trouble. Yeah, I get you in trouble.
He wanted him to do it, though.
You wanted me to throw him off the fucking second. Well, there was like a little balcony up there where another bar was. And
Yeah, it was a little bar and like
it
a
was
little...
overlooking the dance floor.
Yeah, and then there was bathrooms up a little.
Yeah.
And
there was a railing there. I could have thrown him over. He wanted me to get somebody that could reliably catch him.
Yeah.
Because it'd be great, man. They'll love it.
Because if nobody
Because
caught
he was
him,
a trained acrobat.
Right.
He was not just some dwarf. He was an actor and a trained acrobat and could do characters and stuff, and was good with his body. You know what I mean? Fucking, he made his whole living was his body, being a dwarf. In the entertainment industry, you know what I mean? So he just loved to entertain. And dwarves and midgets, which they're different, in case you don't know. When they're in entertainment, they eat that shit up. And a lot of people don't realize how much attention they get. Dwarves get a lot of attention, and I think they kind of get addicted to it. They gravitate towards entertainment, and they get big egos. Fucking yeah, but they're hilarious, man.
I mean, he's hilarious, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Whatever he's been, like I said, I haven't seen him in a while. I think, remember last time we saw him?
I could look for him. I still got him on Facebook.
Yeah. I just haven't seen him around in a while, and I haven't really seen him post anything. I think last time we saw him was when Ibar was downtown still.
See if he's still in town.
Yeah, he might have moved away. I don't know.
He might have moved away. Well, he was working for a couple different companies off and on.
Yeah.
He was working for Disney for a while, and then I think he went to Universal.
Yeah, CB said dwarves are batshit, especially when there's a woman on their radar.
Yeah.
It's like showing up to club like the two hot girls are like fucking
Yeah.
wanting to cat fight and shit. Look at that bitch over there.
Tito was what was his name? Tito what? No.
I can't remember what his last name was.
I'm getting stuck on Matt Tito, but it wasn't him.
No. It's not spelled the same. Matt's last name isn't the same. Spelled the same as Tito's first name. Tito's first name is with an I.
I got him on here, but I can't. I don't know his name. I don't know how to spell his name.
It's just Tito, right?
Yeah, he's coming up under that.
Maybe he's not on Facebook anymore.
Maybe. Because, wait a minute, Roberto Tito? No.
What's the Latin?
No, it's not him. Yeah, it's him.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that him?
Yeah, that's him.
That's him, yeah. Because he's at the animal shelter.
Yeah, that's I told. And a kid. Yeah, we got him. There he is.
Yeah. That's him.
Kid's on the little kid.
See if we can get him. Yeah. See if I can get a full length shot of him. There you go. Yeah, that was Tito.
So he's
I haven't seen him in a long time. I gotta send him a message.
He doesn't look any different.
They look exactly the same.
Yeah, like I said, he volunteers at the animal shelter. So.
Yeah.
He's a kitty lover.
Yeah, look at that. He's standing next to that huge kid.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. There he is. That's him next to the dog.
Aww.
Yeah. He's looking at his reflection. Look how little he is. He used to come up to the bar, I'd grab him and fucking pull him up and just stand him on top of a fucking bar stool. He's standing there on top of that bar stool like that so I could look him in the eye.
That's funny.
Yeah. Wonder if he's got any Disney pictures.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I know he played some characters over there.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people that played characters at Disney.
Yeah.
You gotta be kind of small to get in those suits.
Yeah.
So they like the small people.
Looks like he's been in Japan.
Oh, okay.
He's looking at he's working at Universal.
Oh, okay. So he's still at Universal.
Yeah, he's at Universal.
'Cause I knew he was working there. I didn't know.
Yeah. He's at Universal Epic Universe.
Yeah, that's the new.
Yeah. That's where he's be working there.
That's the new.
We gotta fucking we gotta tell him about fucking the new club.
Yeah, see if he comes out.
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't know it's back.
Yeah, I kind of feel like most of the regulars figured it out.
Yeah.
and came back, but there are some people that I don't know if they didn't know that it moved.
Yeah.
Or they just thought it was just gone.
Right.
You know.
He probably thinks it's gone.
Which, the downtown location is gone, but it's not gone. It's something else now.
No. So
the building's still there.
So his first name was Roberto.
Yeah, I knew that Tito wasn't
Tito.
his.
No, that was the name he went by.
I knew that wasn't his real name, but I couldn't remember what
it's his middle name.
Yeah.
But that's what he was going by. Yeah, look at him. Yeah. See, they get like that. Yeah. They get like that. Look at her face. She's like, what?
That's how I was laughing at. She's like, what is going on right now?
What the fuck? What?
Yeah, seriously, you should ask
tell
him about, because he used to come to Barbarella quite a bit.
Yeah, I'll ask him where he's been
when it was downtown. Man, we went last Saturday. and it was because remember we said they were doing memento mori for that girl Shelly that died, and they were doing like a memorial thing. But holy crap, it was packed. You know, a lot of people came. So it was like a big night. I had the cool shoes on. I wore these shoes that Tom got me that looked super awesome. I did manage to dance in them a couple of songs, but I took another pair of shoes in the trunk because I was like, I don't know if I can walk in these all night. I did better than I expected to. When did I change shoes? What time was it? I lasted a few hours, and then I was kind of like, I think I'm gonna go get my other shoes. So I had to I did a lot better than I thought I would, though. I didn't think I was gonna be able to dance at all in those, but I managed it. Because I said, man, what if I get drunk and like I just fall over on my ass and all this other kind of stuff.
But I posted that shit on his profile.
What?
See, because look, I sent him messages before and he never got them.
Oh, okay.
He might have accidentally silenced me or something.
Yeah.
So I put that shit on his
wall.
wall. Because I know all you got to do is like sometimes swipe something the wrong way and you don't get messages from that person. That might be another one, but...
Yeah, CB said dwarfs are the smallest people in the room, but the biggest pimps in the room.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Beesnest says, sorry I haven't been on in a while. At rehab on South Padre Island, $10,000 a day.
Yeah.
Who's paying for that? I thought you'd already been
VA, probably.
I thought you'd already been to rehab.
Oh, he goes all the time. He goes to rehab all the time.
That's pretty funny. So what did you send him?
No, I was looking at messages and shit.
Oh, okay. Get back on the
Hold on,
shit.
I think he may have answered.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's on then.
No, it's Keith.
Oh, okay.
Also known as Murder Hornet.
Well, there you go.
Dude, he got some chick to clean his apartment. Yeah, I know, man. He sent me the fucking video. He got some chick come over his house and he's talking her into cleaning his apartment. This is some weird shit, bro.
Did you make her put on like a hot maid uniform and like watch her bend over and
He
stuff?
says I got one coming over.
Is it one of those?
He says I got one coming over. I got one coming. So you need to record it shit. I'm gonna record it shit. He says I want the dick in the mouth and her looking up at you. Fucking, he's like, I'm gonna do it. And then fucking, he sends me a video that's her just in his kitchen. Fucking, he's going, yeah, you can put that away. You put that away. She's putting shit.
You're like, this is not what I was.
Dude, this is not
what I was expecting.
This is not what you fucking promised.
That's not what I was expecting.
It's not what you fucking promised. Murder Hornet, man.
Yeah, but see, if you tell him that, he's probably gonna make you send some fucked up video.
Well, we have already.
Well, I know that, but
yeah.
I don't know what exactly you sent. I don't know what exactly you sent. But
yeah, you knew over time. You were there.
I know, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Sending videos.
We were having a bad month.
What?
We were having a bad month.
Who was?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh.
You're sending videos because we were having a bad month.
Oh.
Did you get it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I didn't know what you were referring to.
No. No, where'd that shit go? Oh, here it is.
I don't know.
I'm trying to get back to YouTube so I can see the comments section.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Keep me entertained, John.
Get back over there.
Keep me entertained.
Well, nobody's asking us any questions.
So, yeah. All right.
So I'm just kind of like, now that Tigglytoot is gone, she was like asking.
She was asking all the questions.
She was asking all these questions, and nobody.
She's trying to get a Tom and Jenny sandwich.
I know, right?
I can tell.
Asking all kind of questions about our sleep habits and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you guys have any?
Just in preparation.
That was She was doing a. she was doing a fucking.
So what you guys
interview.
like bedtime routine?
Yeah, she was doing. Yeah, she was.
Tell me in excruciating detail.
So if you guys had a girlfriend, how would you treat her? Does it come with a paycheck?
I mean, we've talked about it before, but
Stop.
it's not.
Let me get a fucking...
It's not really a thing that's, you know what I mean. The doll is fun, though. We pretend that that's the girlfriend. She can't clean the house, though. Although, after we saw that movie Companion, I think we talked about this a little bit on the...
What's that?
On the review. Like, after we saw that movie Companion,
Yeah.
I was like, man, if they could make, like, robots like that, that'd be kind of cool to have one.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of creepy, but you know what I mean. Yeah, Zach says, how many times do you chew before swallowing? I honestly never counted. And I guess it depends on what it is. You know? Like, I'm not going to be a freak and say you had to, like, chew mashed potatoes 100 times before swallowing or whatever. Oh, goodness.
I know.
You all right?
Okay, yeah.
You're rubbing your eyes like...
Yeah, my eyes are...
You're doing, like, the thing like babies rub their eyes like that.
Getting sleepy.
You're getting fussy.
Getting fussy.
That's what I always tell when he's getting tired of stuff. Like,
Getting fussy.
Are you getting fussy?
Next time I'll be in a car seat with a whoopee all around me and shit, the bottle and shit.
Got a whoopee.
With a shitty diaper.
I can see it. I can see it, a little rattle and
Fucking
stuff.
stupid shit.
Okay, speaking of whoobies, I wasn't having this debate. I was having this debate with myself, and I was like, oh, I should look that up, and then I forgot to. So, most people know, I feel, that a whoopee is like your blankie, right? It's like your little, like when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
I was like, that originated with Mr. Mom, did it not?
I don't
that
know.
Michael Keaton movie from 1984?
Probably.
Because that little kid called his blankie his whoopee, and it was like all torn up.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, like at one point, I think Michael Keaton like had to staple it back together or something like that because it got fucked up in the washing machine. Because you know the whole joke of the movie was he's a man and he didn't know how to do household shit. So he didn't know how to use a washing machine.
Whoopee was probably something kids were saying.
Yeah, but maybe it predated that. That's where I
I'm
first
sure
heard
probably
it. And I just thought it was funny, so I started using it. And then, like, over the years, I hear other people using it, and I'm like, well, is everybody getting it from that movie, or was that a thing
right.
before that
no,
movie?
it's in the vernacular. The Army uses it.
Okay, but did it
It's
come
the
from that
blanket.
movie though? Like, was
I don't
that
know.
the origin point?
Probably not. Like for me, when I was a kid, they gave me a little pacifier, a little thing to suck on, you know.
Yeah,
But we call that a binky.
a binky. Yeah,
Binky, yeah. And I think it's been called a binky forever.
yeah. I've heard
Sounds
it. Yeah, I've heard it called a
binky.
binky.
But I think it might be regional too because I've used that word. People didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. Binky.
Yeah,
Give it to a kid and they suck on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I heard it called a pacifier, but I knew that it was some people called it a binky also.
Yeah.
But I've heard it called something else.
Yeah, there's a couple different words for it, I think.
I thought they called it something else in the UK, but I can't remember what it is now. Shit, what the fuck was it? CB might know. But, yeah, I can't remember. I thought it was like some weird word for it. But that's the same thing what it was. Pacifier is a dumb...
That's like the proper name
That's
for
the
it.
proper
The
name.
proper word for it. Pacifier.
Yeah, see, Papa77 says Whoopee as a blanket did come from Mr. Mom. See, that's what I thought. I thought that's where it originated. Like, I didn't know if Whoopee was a thing before that movie. Or if it was just... That's what I was wondering about. A dummy. That's right. That's what they call it in the UK. They call it a dummy.
What, a binky?
Yeah.
A binky's called a dummy?
A binky dummy.
So it keeps you dumb, keeps you from saying something, keeps you
Which actually
keeps you from
makes
talking.
sense, actually,
Yeah.
when you think about it.
Keeps you from talking.
It's a shut-uppy.
Yeah.
CB said, what is the weirdest and crappiest, or creepiest video you've been asked for?
None.
Yeah, nobody really asked us to do anything weird.
It's just normal stuff.
One person, this wasn't weird. One person wanted to see a video of me rubbing one out to a picture of their dick.
Yeah, common.
So but that's
common.
not weird.
Common.
That's not weird. But other than that, we didn't. Like I said, the weirdest thing that people asked us to do, like on the live stream, was that role playing thing, and
Yeah.
that wasn't like weird.
It
what
wasn't-
we were doing was weird, but like
it wasn't creepy.
The situation they wanted us to act.
It was fucking bizarre.
Was weird.
Wanted me to act like I was a tribal chieftain of a clan of fucking women that didn't have
It was
any
very
men,
specific.
and she's
was like-
worshiping shit. It's just fucking bizarre.
And well,
no real sex involved.
You had kidnapped me from another tribe.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
And I was gonna get raped if I didn't do
Yeah.
what you wanted or something.
Yeah, and there was no sex in it.
Not really. Like
No.
it was just a whole situation.
The one that I think was probably like the weirdest. There was one of them that was funny. It was just dude just wanted fucking Jen to just sit on my face and just fucking smother me.
Yeah.
That one was funny.
That was very funny.
That was
we were
fucking
cracking up
I
the
was
whole
laughing.
fucking time.
I was underneath that ass just laughing. God, this is shit fucking silly as shit.
I was like, are you
He-
a writer?
Yeah, she's like,
breathe?
that's right. Don't let him breathe. You know, so shit like that.
Well, I was like, well, he kind of has to breathe
Yeah.
sometimes, you know.
We would cheat, you know.
Well, yeah, I
Gee.
mean, you can't really.
And another one that was weird is dude wanted me to like really rough her up. So I was like slapping her and shit like that. But I was cupping my hand to make it sound
Yeah.
loud. And I was pulling the blows.
Yeah, he didn't hurt me.
At the beginning, you know, he's like,
It probably
yeah, could
looked
you
good.
slap her around and shit like that? And I says, yeah, I can do that. How hard are we talking now? He goes, hard as you can. And I was like, no, dude, I'll knock her out. He goes, okay, just you know, as hard as you safely can. And I was like, okay, all right. So we just, you know, I have theater training, so you know, I fucking, you know, I did some Star Trek action, like Kirk, you know,
Kirk fighting the Gorn.
yeah, you know. But here's the thing, see, it's not like shooting a scene. That takes a long time. These guys don't have the money for a long time. The longest fucking little thing that we did was like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think the longest one was like 15
And they're paying
minutes.
$5 a minute, $6
Yeah, it's
a minute.
expensive.
It's expensive for them. So they try to get this shit over with quick.
Quickly.
Yeah. Which is good for us. The thing is about StreamMate was a fun job when you were actually streaming. It was mostly just sitting there waiting. People would come in and out one at a time. And it's like, hey guys, how you doing? And then the guys start asking me questions or asking Jen questions. And you know, yeah. And fucking, there's only like one dude out of that fucking whole month was rude. One or two.
Yeah, we didn't really come across too many assholes.
Yeah. Most of them were cool. And I was very surprised about who the dudes were. Because most of them turned their camera on.
Yeah.
And they were young dudes and they looked good. They were fucking fitness guys. And they tended to be bisexual guys, which that's great for us.
Yeah, those were generally
That's the
our
best ones.
customers.
Yeah. And had a tendency to be British, which that's great
Yeah.
too. Those guys are very polite and fucking and not demanding. They're just like, look, I'm at work right now.
They're like, just do
And
something.
I gotta get, and I'm fucking going nuts. I need to fucking get this shit off. and like, you're not getting in trouble at work, are you? And we're not in private. We're saying this in public. He's typing, and we're using just like streaming, like we
Yeah.
are now. He's like, no, I got my own office. I'm the boss.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, great. And he goes, and I said, so what exactly you're looking for? And he goes, just put on a good show for me.
Yeah,
And we like to hear that because that
Yeah.
shit's gonna be natural. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fucking
When you're kind of like have to do like these really specific
shit.
because I'm always like, what if I fuck it up? What it's like
Yeah.
that's not what I wanted. Like all this other kind of crap.
So we just kind of go through our normal thing, you know what I mean? And I got the camera and fucking me and her doing shit like that. And we never saw that guy. He didn't turn his camera on.
Yeah.
But then he probably watched for about 10 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
And then he clicked out and he goes, oh, thanks, guys. That was so fucking good. I'm going to call y'all back. You know, I'll call you back. Okay, thank you. And I don't think we saw him again, though, but we stopped fucking streaming because you got a job, I think, after that.
Yeah.
The other guy we had, he was a regular. He'd show up fucking, every time he saw us, he'd jump in. He goes, want to have threesomes? So, yeah, come on. We knew him by his name. Yeah, come on in, bro. And he was a fitness guy, probably about 30. He was jacked. He turned his camera on and me and Jen would be going fucking wild. He didn't ask for anything. He'd just be watching. He'd be putting on a show.
on his side, doing push-ups and jerking it and shit, fucking waving at the camera and everything, you know. And he fucking dude had abs and all kinds of shit, you know.
Yeah, like he liked to pretend he was there,
like he was there doing, like he was, yeah. And fucking, I'm cheering him on. And says, "That's right, dude," you know. Fucking, I'm cheering him on, you know. And it's kind of silly looking at it, back at it, but it was, you know. Our jobs was to help these dudes get off.
Yeah.
It's all right. They were very honest about it. You know, it's like, okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to get off, right?
Yeah,
so
just getting him off, yeah.
Helping somebody do that, it's not.
Yeah.
That's not weird. Not the worst thing in the world, is it?
Yeah.
That's why I don't really have a problem with like sex workers or chicks that do OnlyFans or stream mate or anything like that.
Didn't get any gays. I think because Jen was there.
Yeah.
And most of the customers were bisexual. If there was a straight guy, it was kind of like more focused on her. He wanted me to fucking rough her up type of deal or that kind of shit. But the best shows that we gave were for guys that were bi.
Yeah, because they were kind of into the whole.
They're into the whole fucking couple
situation.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also wanted more. Like, you guys just do, you know, what you guys
what you would normally do.
Yeah. That's all they. So like, okay, yeah, no, we can do that.
We just want to watch y'all do what you would normally do.
Yeah, right, yeah. And
which that's much easier, obviously.
The mentality of the psychology of a bisexual guy is very much like a straight guy. All right, with gay guys, it's not quite the same. They're looking for specific things. The bi guys are basically straight. I don't even think they're really looking for sex from the guy. They're more like, from what I saw, more into like what approval. They want you to approve of them, tell them that they're good. Oh, you look great, you know, good dude, you know. It's just a thing like that. I think for all we know, they were married. You know, we don't know everything about them.
Yeah.
For all we know, they're married. The wife doesn't know. You know, so there's a lot of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you don't really pry. You don't.
Yeah.
They're only in there for like a few minutes, like I said. So.
Right.
You can talk to them for free, like in public chat, like before you go in. How it worked was you could talk to people as long as you wanted, like in free chat. You were allowed to be topless in the public area, but nothing else. Yeah. Like you couldn't, like no dicks, no vagina.
Colombia cheated its ass.
Yeah, a lot of people would cheat because they thought they could get away with it.
Yeah.
But you technically weren't supposed to do that. If they caught you, they'd suspend your account. But if you wanted more than that, like you had to take it private, so you'd have to pay. And you could either do like one person, like one-on-one, or you could have a thing where people could pay to come in and watch it.
And a lot of times that we'd make a lot of money that way.
Yeah.
We'd put it on a show for one person, and somebody we don't
and
know,
then other
just
people would jump in
and they're just watching, and then you're getting paid $10 a minute total.
Yeah, because two people are watching. Yeah.
Or it might be 3 in there, so you're getting $15 a minute.
Yeah.
Total.
And people could come in and out, like, whenever they wanted.
Some of them would jump in and watch for a few minutes and then just leave.
And then just leave, yeah.
Because what they're doing is they're kind of like surfing through shows that are going.
Yeah.
You know. Jerking it.
Yeah.
You never see those guys. They can't turn their camera on. Only the original guy with his camera on. And some dudes don't have to... Whoever opens the session, he can turn his camera off or on.
Yeah.
Anybody else that jumps in, they can't turn their camera on.
Yeah, because there's only space for one.
Only the guy that started it.
Yeah.
Has that ability.
And I think
now we charge them a little bit more if they turn the camera on.
Yeah.
I think we charge them another $1 a minute.
Yeah, because some people also liked. Because we did have a couple of guys that had like really, really small ones and wanted you to humiliate them.
Yeah, which that was weird.
But that's a kink. That's like a pretty... And I don't even think that's that uncommon.
Yeah.
Even dudes that don't have really small penises, I think. Because one dude in there, he just had like... What looked like an average size penis. Yeah. But he still wanted us to like mock how small it was.
Yeah, mock how small it was. And here's the thing. Being a man, I was feeling bad. Yeah. After he closed the session out, he was still in the free chat. And says, by the way, dude... There ain't nothing wrong with you. You're normal.
Well, you probably shouldn't have said that because, like I said, he probably gets off on.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely a kink.
He paid us already, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, so don't worry about it, dude. We're just fucking with you. You're right.
Yeah.
Had one dude fucking come into the free chat. Couldn't see who it was. It was like Viking something or other. Big dick Viking, whatever. Oh, big dick Viking. 13-inch Viking. Some shit like this. Says, yeah, sure, man. Motherfucker went right in. Bow. Turned his camera on and hell yeah.
They're like, all right.
Dude was huge. I went, yes, sir. I'm fucking, God, dude, you're fucking huge. He was jacked. Big old fucking...
All right.
Looked like a power lifter.
Well, you know, because usually if you have a screen name like that,
you're full of
you're
shit.
bullshitting.
Yeah, no.
He was not bullshitting.
Not bullshit. He looked like a power lifter.
I was like, all right, fair enough.
Probably fucking 6 feet. Probably like 230, 240 on steroids. Dick the size of a fucking 40-ounce beer can. Easily.
Yeah,
Blonde,
it was
beard,
pretty big.
Probably about 30.
Yeah, he looked exactly what it said on the tin.
Yep. Looked like he should have been in a Marvel fucking movie.
So I was
Remember?
like, all right, fair enough.
Like, and I saw it says, oh, whoa, and he's got that shit. He's fucking jerking it. Fucking
That's probably his thing. Is that like he probably thinks everybody is like, sure, dude.
Yeah.
And then he comes on the camera and you're like, oh, all right, sorry.
So I start fucking pulling.
You're right.
Pulling Jenny's titties out. Fucking doing something like this, and I'm like, yes, sir. You did not fail to deliver. You're fucking huge, dude. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
But that was our job.
That was pretty fun.
That was our job. That's what he wanted to hear.
Yeah. CB said it would piss me off if I did a video or did something live and somebody recorded it and put it up without my consent.
That just happens. That's just part of the game.
And honestly, yeah, I don't think it would bother me too much. Because I'm sure, I don't really know if anybody recorded any of our shit.
We didn't make enough of it.
We didn't really make enough of it. It would be unusual unless I had a stalker or something.
They usually steal the sessions from real young cute girls that are kind of just starting type of deal, or celebrities.
Yeah,
like
so it's like I
celebrities.
didn't really worry about it too much.
Anyway.
So I'm like, even if one rando did do it, it's like I don't think anybody would find it because there's so much fucking porn.
There's so much of it, they never find it.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't label it the right way that anybody we knew could find it.
Yeah, and even if they did, I don't really.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've thought about it, and I'm just like, nah.
Who cares?
I don't really care. Maybe it's because I'm old. You know what I mean? I'm just
That's what I was
like,
saying earlier.
I don't care.
The problem with a lot of the sex work, if that's what you want to call it, is that a lot of people get involved in it before their personalities are really formed, and they're in their 20s, and their personalities form around that work. They're not really sure who they are, so they kind of become that. And if escorting's involved, that's even worse for them, kind of psychologically, because they can't separate themselves from being an escort. That's part of their identity now. Now, it won't always be that way, usually. If they get out of it early, they can fucking recover from it based on the interviews that I've seen. It's a lot more psychologically healthy for a woman who's already mature, already had kids, possibly already married, like a divorced woman that might have a child or two. She knows who she is. She's already lived a normal life. She can kind of distance herself from what she's doing. She's just, okay, I'm going to do this as a job. I'm just playing a role. Yeah, I'm calling myself a whore or whatever. That's part of my role playing. I'm not a whore, though. I'm a good person. You know, so they can survive it. I'm just putting on an act for this dude because he's paying me. So they kind of survive it a lot better, mentally, emotionally. Because they know the difference between a real relationship and fucking hooking.
Yeah.
Some of those girls don't know the difference because all their relationship experience is basically like prostitution.
Yeah, like
and dudes who are
transactional.
using them up like a pimp type boyfriend.
And you can get into a rut where you think like, oh, it's all, like
This is the way
one
it is.
like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which like if that's all you know, yeah, you're gonna think,
You'll be
everybody's like this.
Right.
So it's just kind of like. And another thing too is that I kind of feel like, and maybe this is true of men as well. I'm not going to speak for them because I'm not a man, but I kind of feel like a lot of women don't really even know what they like sexually or know how to assert their sexuality or like ask for what they want until they're older and like have more confidence in themselves. Because I kind of feel like a lot of young women, and I was the same. Like, you don't really know what you want, or if you do know what you want, you're afraid to ask for it because like people think you're a weirdo or a whore or whatever, and it's like you have like all these hang-ups about it, and I kind of feel like the older you get, like the less you give a fuck.
Yeah.
And the more you are confident in what you want
exactly.
and asking for it.
The older you get, the more you realize that sex is not some kind of magical, mystical thing that's fucking a threat to you, that you're gonna hurt yourself or other people with this shit. It's just, it can mean a lot of different things, you know, like the sex you have with your wife or the sex you have, you know, with your girlfriend is not the same as, say, the sex you would have doing a scene in a porn scene, or the same kind of sex you'd have because somebody paid you to do it. It's not the same, okay? When you're older, you know that it's not the same.
Yeah.
When you're younger, you could be confused that you wouldn't know the difference. It becomes where everything kind of feels like prostitution, and prostitution feels okay. One of the veteran porn star / high-end escorts that I listened to her, she said that porn was harder because it was harder work. It was more unnatural. You have to show up to studios. You have to, you know what I mean?
There's all these people watching. Yeah, it's like you have to stop in the middle and change position.
And you don't get that much for it.
Yeah.
She said escorting was a lot easier because you're dealing with one dude, and he's kind of a simp.
And you can kind of pretend it's just like a date or something.
Yeah, and you can kind of pretend that you have something in common. She said sometimes she would feel like she had something in common with the guy. She said after years of it, she realized it was kind of like being in abusive relationships with 100 different guys.
Where it sounds exhausting.
Because they're not really your boyfriend. They're not really, you know,
but they're unloading a lot of their shit.
They're unloading shit on you, and or they're talking about, and it's just kind of you're their psychoanalyst.
Yeah.
And they're, you know, or they're just real simpy, you know what I mean? And it's one-sided. They're in love with you, but you don't like him. He's a customer.
Right.
You know, it's that kind of shit.
Yeah, I can't. Like I said, I can't imagine. I think that would just wear me out.
Yeah.
I definitely think that would wear me out. But I mean, I don't know. I understand, like, because I know who it is that he's talking about, like the woman that he's talking about, and she found escorting much easier, and I get it because she's saying, yeah, it's more like natural because it's just one-on-one. It's just you could just pretend you're on a date with this person or whatever, or it's just a hookup. Whereas porn is like a lot more unnatural. But I don't know. I kind of feel like I would be more weirded out like doing escorting than I would doing porn. Not that I would do porn either, but. I mean, we have, but just, you know, just with us. We didn't do it with other people, you know what I mean? Because I think that was weird. Papa77 said, it wasn't until I met my wife that I opened up about what I wanted in the bedroom. Yeah, like when you meet the right person and you kind of feel like you're in a safe space where you're not going to be judged or anything like that, it really is kind of freeing in a lot of ways. So it's not just getting older, but it's, you know, being in the relationship with the right person, you know what I mean? Because I kind of feel like, you know, I was married before for a long time, like for 14 years, and I don't know, it's I guess because I was younger and everything like that, and I wasn't super experienced, and I wasn't real confident in expressing what I wanted or anything like that, and he wasn't real confident in expressing what he wanted, so it wasn't, you know, it was fine, but it wasn't like a great situation or anything. So it's a lot better now because, and honestly, it's gotten better with us too. Like in the last few years, especially after you went on that on test, and after you did the thing with the like you were talking about before, where you felt all the female emotions and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like that actually kind of made a difference when you went on. I mean that. Don't repeat it.
Yeah.
But it did actually have a silver lining.
Yeah.
Because you understood. They're like, oh, this is what women feel like now. So you understood that a little bit better. Yeah. So now, like, when I say something, like, you know, that's woman brain, you don't be like, oh, you're crazy. Like, you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Because you experienced it also.
Yeah, and those hormones are powerful. They're like drugs. And they have a drug-like effect. But the weird thing is that when you take a drug, you know you're under the influence of it. Hormones aren't like that. It feels normal.
Well, yeah.
So you're
it is normal for
like this?
It is normal for us.
Yeah. But it feels normal.
Yeah.
Like when I had all that progesterone and shit in me, it felt normal. And I was like, why am I like, you know, this is, you know, damn, why do I suck so much?
But see,
why am I thinking like this?
That's kind of, we feel like that all the time.
Yeah.
So you can see how frustrating it is.
Yeah, you're looking in the mirror, you look fucking great, and you go, man, I look like shit.
Yeah.
I fucking suck.
Yeah.
Everybody hates me.
Yeah.
Why is it I do everything I do it wrong? And
I feel
it's like that.
I feel that every fucking day.
And there's nothing to justify it. It's just
I know.
Yeah.
That's what's frustrating about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
because I know that there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
But it's like you feel like that anyway, and it's like really annoying.
A couple days later, I inject fucking like 200 milligrams of fucking test, and then the next day I'm like, fucking, what the fuck was I thinking about, man? I'm fucking crazy, you know? Because your balance is, you know, there's these like hormonal balances and shit, you know. You can have a lot of progesterone in you if you've got a lot of testosterone. It'll kind of overpower it or balance it out. You know, hormonal balance is exactly what they're talking about. It's better not to have as much of this. Don't do Tren. That's the rule.
We've said this multiple times before. Please don't do Tren.
Tren will put you in a bad mental state. You're okay for about 3 months. When I hit month 4, I was pretty fucking bent. Month 5, I was fucking crazy.
Yeah. And you didn't realize you were crazy.
No, I didn't realize I was crazy. I thought I was fucking perfectly fine. But looking back on it, I was like, man, I was crazy as shit. Some of the shit I was thinking about.
Yeah, you were.
Fucking,
some of the shit you said, I was just
some of the shit you said was just fucking crazy, yeah.
I was like, what? Fuck
it's
are you
Tren.
talking about?
Tren make you fucking insane.
And like I said, I didn't know you were still on that, or that was going to have that extreme a thing, so I had no idea what was going on.
Well, it wasn't extreme right away.
No, I know, but like I said.
See, the idea is that I was only going to be on it for fucking 90 days. Okay, 3 months. Because that's how long the cycle's supposed to be, according to the literature. Well, I got to fucking 3 months, and I was like, why the fuck? I feel great. Why the fuck would I want to come off of this?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep going.
I'm just going to keep going. Yeah. A few weeks later, I'm fucking starting to get bent. A month later, I'm fucking bent.
Yeah, big time.
Month 5, I owned that shit for 5 months. I was a werewolf. Yeah.
I mean, he would just like randomly.
Yeah, I was a fucking.
I'm gonna tear that dude's head off.
I'm gonna
like,
kill that guy.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Can we not do that?
It's a fucking beautiful fighting fucking hormone. MMA guys have used it, evidently. A lot of those guys, some of the craziest shit MMA guys, it's Tren. Makes you It makes you fight very well, very fluidly. You're not really thinking anything. It's just you're just channeling it. You're channeling the fight, and it's beautiful. You love it. If you get hurt, you just love that. Hurting somebody else, you love it. You're like sadomasochism, big time. Rage and anger starts to become kind of sexualized. So not only are you trying to fucking fight the dude, you're also kind of thinking about raping him and maybe even eating him. I mean, so you're becoming like Hannibal Lecter in the shit. You're a werewolf. That's why I wear werewolf stuff after that. I started buying werewolf stuff.
Because it was
my fucking wolf.
It was like
test.
a rite of passage.
I passed my fucking wolf test. I survived that shit.
Like I said, I would not advise anyone do it.
No.
No. And in hindsight, I'm glad you did it.
Knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
It was like an accident.
But like I said, because it did have like a little bit of a silver lining to it.
Well, you know how powerful hormones are.
Yeah.
And you understand the effects of the powerful hormones that are in women. Because you have a lot of those in you.
Yeah.
All your hormones are through the roof.
Because like the second, and I've told you before, like when you were telling me all the shit you were thinking when you were on it, and I was talking to Jen one night about it, and I was saying, and he said he thought this and that and the other, and Jen said, oh, like we think all the time, and I was like, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
She knew exactly what I was talking about.
But it's kind of like you're pregnant, but you're also Superman. On one end, you're fucking... You're super hyper masculine. You're real like fucking. Oh, I can do anything. I'm the shit. I'm like a god. I'm a god. I can do whatever.
I think you said that actual thing to me.
God like fucking
and
abilities.
I was like,
I could do anything. I could fight a dump truck.
I was like, it settled down.
Yeah, I was like, I could fight a dump truck.
Yeah.
And win. You know, you think that's the way you're thinking. And then on the other end, you go, but you know what? I suck. So you're fucking. You're like. You're almost like fucking, what do you call it, bipolar.
Yeah.
You're a pregnant Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you feel like. And you're like real insecure. You're fucking overconfident and insecure simultaneously, which...
See, I only have the insecure. I don't have the overconfidence.
Well, you saw me.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking overconfident for a few minutes, and then fucking a few minutes later, I'd be like fucking insecure.
Yeah.
What? What happened? Huh? Oh, they hate me. You know,
Everybody hates me.
Oh, they hate me. Yeah. It's weird.
He thought I hated him. He thought I
Yeah.
was cheating on him.
Yeah, but I knew that wasn't true.
Because I was like, with who? With the boyfriend in my pocket? I never go anyplace.
Yeah. No, I told her though.
Yeah.
I said, I know you. I know. Look, I'm just saying this. All right. I know it's not true. Okay. I know you're not. But are you cheating on me? And she's no, of course not. We're having. I said, yeah. You don't go anywhere. So we're always together. You can't be. You know. It's just. But. And that is a notorious fucking sign of Tren.
It is, yeah. I saw some like gym bros like talking about it.
Yeah,
And
they
like,
said you're gonna think your girlfriend's cheating on you.
and that was one of the things, and
That's
they're like,
the main
"Yep."
one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They all said
I
the
was
same
like
thing.
going like, how could she be cheating on me? We're always together.
Yeah, like I said, we're never.
Yeah.
I'm always here.
I knew it wasn't true.
I said, I don't have a boyfriend in my pocket.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't true. And I knew that was a symptom of Tren.
Yeah.
But I was still compelled to ask.
Yeah.
You know.
I get
and
it.
you get real simpy. You love me, don't you? That kind of shit.
Yeah, that kind of
that
stuff.
kind of shit. Okay, just checking.
I was like, okay.
You want to attack some other dude,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because you're like real fucking...
It was a time.
You're like fucking...
Ah.
You're ultra fucking protective. You're like protector and fucking destroyer and fucking, you know, and then trying to build the nest and shit and protect the fucking mama and the fucking egg, you know. You're like that. And I would just... Dudes that I knew, no problem. And if he was a big fucking scary motherfucker, I'd say, yeah, what's up, man? Dude, that, yeah. You know, you just fucking
Y'all are
vibe
vibing.
with. Yeah, yeah. Love you, man. You the shit. Look at you. If it's a dude you don't know, you're like, look at that motherfucker. Look at him. I will kill that bitch. What the fuck is he doing here? And it's just like a random dude.
It's like he's not doing anything.
What the fuck is he doing here?
Why? Look at him just standing there like that.
Over there.
Look at him standing there like that with a drink in his hand,
Why is he
not
so
doing
weak?
anything.
Look at it. Look at it. Why is he so weak? You know, just stuff like that. It's weird. Weird. And it's the way the animals are.
Yeah, I mean,
Looking back on it, I was
maybe like Wolverines. And
yeah,
stuff.
that's like certain parts of the animal kingdom. Yeah, are like that.
I thought of like a Wolverine because you know how Wolverines walk around and they look like they're just like
just pissed off,
like pissed off all the time.
Yeah,
That's kind of what you were like.
Yeah. It was quite an experience, but the thing is, I thought it was normal. I thought it was totally
Well, see,
normal.
that's what was crazy about it
I thought it
is
was totally
that I
normal.
wasn't entirely sure what was going on with you
Yeah.
because I didn't know that you were still on that or that it would be that extreme after that time. So you were acting like this, and I'm just like, bro, like, what are you talking about? You're talking crazy, and I'm not talking crazy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we talking about I'm fine.
I'm fine.
You're
And I'm
crazy.
Just like,
yeah.
cool. All right.
I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing about Tren. You can't sleep on it. So I'd leave the bed and I'd go into my fucking man cave and sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
It was like a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
I'd try to sleep. And I'd have fucking lights and shit, you know, and I'd put headphones on because I couldn't go to sleep. And I didn't want to keep her awake.
Yeah.
So I was trying to hide from her. That was another thing.
Yeah.
I was trying to hide from her.
And I was like, because like I said, I didn't really know what was going on, and I thought I did something. I was like, is he mad at me about that?
No, I was trying to hide from her.
Why does he keep like avoiding
Trying to
me?
hide from her because I knew there was a part of me that knew I was fucked up.
Yeah.
You know? And then I came off of it. It probably took about 2 or 3 weeks to actually totally get back to normal.
Yeah. It took a bit of time.
I stopped injecting. And within about a week, I was a lot better. But I still didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And then, like, over about a month, I was recovering. I was like, God damn, I was fucking crazy as shit. Like, I started to, like, have a...
Some of the shit you said, and holy crap.
Yeah.
I wish I'd, like, recorded some of it. Because I'm just sitting there going...
It was Sophie that convinced me that I was crazy.
Yeah.
I was messaging her and shit. She goes, you do realize... She goes, no, it's that Tren. And I was like, no, it can't be. No, and she's like, no, it's Tren. He goes, don't get mad. But talking to you is kind of like talking to a drug addict.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? No, it can't be. Oh, yeah. But then I was like...
I'm just
I
glad
thought about
that-
it and I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm glad you... Because you wouldn't listen to me.
Wouldn't listen, yeah.
So...
She's like, yeah, you're right. I am crazy. You know, I'm coming off of this. She's like, yeah.
Because she knew a lot more about what was going on than I did.
Because I would be messaging. Like, I think she's cheating on me, but she can't be. That's not possible. No, she's not cheating on you. She's not. And I'd be like, yeah, I know she isn't. Just it didn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I didn't know any of this until afterwards.
I know she isn't. There's no way. How so? But it's hormones. You're like, you feel that way.
Yeah.
But you don't know why.
Yeah.
You know it's not possible. Let me make you another drink.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, you know that because I have the girl hormones.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of always have that suspicion in the back of my mind, too, even though I know you're not.
It's hormones.
But it's like, it's just, it's always there, like, in the back of your mind. Like, you can't get rid of it. Yeah. You know? It's just like, it's annoying, but what are you going to do? Yeah, and Papa says, oh, you're saying now? LOL. Oh, it was, yeah, he's, like, low-key kind of crazy all the time. Like, not in a bad way, but it was a lot different. Like, so much, like, he would just say, like, a fucking off-the-wall shit. And, like, it was normal. And I'd be like, look at you, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you kidding? Like, what are you talking about? And then, I think he thought I was nuts because I was just, like, telling him. So, like I said, I'm just glad that Sophie was able to kind of talk you off the ledge because you would not listen to me. Like, you just thought I was picking on you or something.
It was both of y'all. You know what I mean? She was backing up. She was backing you up. And I was going like, yeah, it's me. It's me. This is Trent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah. She's, for like the past couple months, talking to you is kind of like talking, you're my friend, but it's kind of like talking to a drug addict, like your friend's a drug addict.
Right.
You're not making any sense. I was like, I'm not? And like, no.
No, you weren't.
And I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, like, see, you said some fucking crazy shit. Yeah. Like it was normal.
It's like it's normal. I'm going to cut that dude's head off. Shit like that.
Yeah, like somebody that wasn't even doing it. And I'm just like, are you joking or?
No, I wasn't. It's like, I want to cut that dude's head off.
I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, like the knife and fucking cutting his head off like that, you know? Yeah, you're crazy. Fucking crazy. I've seen other fucking dudes on it get killed in police videos.
I could totally. I was afraid that might happen because you didn't tell me about this until after, but you said one time you went to Starbucks on your motorcycle.
Yeah.
And you parked in the front, and somebody said something about how loud the motorcycle was or something like that, and you just like went off.
Went off on him. Yeah, he ran.
Like, and I didn't know, like, he didn't hit him or nothing like that, but he just like went up.
Bitch, I will fucking kill you. I said, give me that fucking phone. Give me that fucking phone. And and I tried to take the phone from him, and I slapped him in the back of the head. You get the fuck out of here. I will fuck you up. He ran.
Yeah, so see, I didn't know that until later because we were at that same Starbucks.
He was one of the Indian IT guys that worked across the street.
Yeah, because there's a Starbucks and there's like a whole bunch of other like things around it.
Little fat Indian guy. Says, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. This motorcycle's too loud. I went right up in his face. What? What the fuck? You pushed him up against. What are you talking about? I will fucking kill you.
And I was like, Tom, that's crazy.
Fucking
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you're not thinking, Tren is making all the decisions.
And he didn't tell me that until like a lot later when we were at that same Starbucks.
Yeah, well, the manager was a friend of mine. I've known him for years. And he goes, Tom, what's wrong? And I fucking kind of snapped out of it. And I said, dude's fucking with me.
I wonder how many other people noticed and they're like, what the fuck is his deal? Is he on something?
Yeah, they probably thought I was on some drug.
They probably did.
But I told some of the girls, like, remember that girl that fucking, we knew her and her boyfriend at the old Starbucks? She worked at that Starbucks before she got
out of the job. Yeah. What's her name?
I forgot her name.
That little redheaded girl?
Yeah. I told her, I'm on Tren right now. Fucking, I'm doing all kinds of weird shit. Because I would kind of come into sanity. It's like, really? He goes, yeah, fucking... I ain't gonna repeat what I told her.
What did you say?
I said, "You dudes are making me so mad. I want to rape them." And she's like, "What?" And I said, "I fucking hate these motherfuckers."
Yeah,
it's just fucking. I mean. What are you talking about?
Normal people don't say shit like that, Tom.
And so I'm like, it went away though. You know what I mean? Fucking, I saw her later. I says, "I'm off Tren. I'm okay now." And she's like, "Okay, yeah." She goes, "Yeah, you were fucking wired up." I says, "Yeah." She says, "You were strange." And I said, "Yeah."
Yeah, you were very strange. Well, like I said, I mean, I'm used to you saying funny shit. But the thing about it is that, and I think I realized this from when I first met you a very long time ago, was that you say crazy shit sometimes, but you're not serious.
No, a lot of it's hyperbole.
Yeah, like you're just kind of fucking around, you know what I mean? It's like trying to be funny.
I would see that shit with more conviction on fucking Tren though.
Yeah, but like when you were on Tren, you sounded like you were serious. Like all the shit you were saying.
I was more serious.
And it wasn't funny, like, at all. And I was just kind of like, yeah, this is not right.
I didn't actually do any of it though.
Well, I was glad because...
I was fighting guys.
Because when you told me, because like I said, I didn't know about that Starbucks incident until later, and I was like, dude, it's like, what if you had just gone off and you'd killed that dude, or what if you called the cops, or like, what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, then to be calling me, like, saying you're in jail and all this other kind of crap. It's
it would
like,
have been a minor charge, though.
I know, but still.
I'd have been back out. I get paid whether I'm locked up or not anyway. It's not like I'm going to work.
Yeah, but I don't want you to get locked up.
I'd have been back out. I'd have been out in a few hours. That's
you know, I don't want you to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, I worry about it. I worry about you.
He felt guilty, I guess, for fucking with me. I saw it as a fuck. Here's the fucking another thing. This was like the last day. It was the last day. The day after is when fucking Sophie fucking convinced me that I was crazy. The day before that, remember, I took her to the fucking airport so she'd fly out.
Yeah.
On the way back, I was at a light. And I looked over in the car next to me was an SUV and a dude that was laughing. And as he's laughing, he had glasses on, and I thought he looked at me. And I thought the bitch was laughing at me.
I remember that.
And I was like, what? The fuck are you laughing at?
And I was like, Tom, stop it.
And he goes, no. He goes like this. And I says, now you want to fucking say you weren't laughing at me. Yeah.
And I was like over there going, oh yeah.
Man.
I was like, oh no.
She wasn't there. She wasn't in the car. I just told her about it. Yeah, I was getting ready to jump out of the car. I'm gonna beat that.
See, it's like that's not normal.
I'm in traffic. Yeah,
that's not normal.
You laughing at me? Fucking, it's just.
Yeah, see, it's like super.
But I would forget about it.
Yeah.
Like it didn't happen, but it all started to like come back. It's like I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Big time. Like I said, I'm just fucking glad. I'm fucking glad you didn't kill anybody or get shot by the cops or whatever the fuck.
I was gonna tell you about the video I saw. Cop stops a car on a regular fucking street, and it's like you can see it's like it's a commercial park. You know what I mean? Where it's offices and shit. What do they call those? Commercial park, right?
Yeah, or like an office park.
Office park.
Industrial park, whatever.
Industrial park. Soon as the fucking car comes to a stop, the fucking door flies open, and a dude jumps out, jacked as shit. He looked like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, all right? He's fucking huge. Jumps out, he's got an axe, and runs straight at that cop. Just instantly, no fucking hesitation. And that cop barely had time to fucking plug that dude. Killed him.
I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah, and fucking as soon as I saw that, he goes, that dude was on Tren.
Tom recognized it.
Tren.
See, that's what I was afraid of.
Yep.
After you told me the parameters of it, because like I said, I didn't know most of this shit until after.
Yeah.
After you told me all of that, I'm like, holy crap! Like so much bad shit could have happened.
Could have happened.
Like something like I know, but
yeah.
You know, I didn't know that at the time. Holy crap!
Yeah, well, that dude was real bent. I could picture it. Him driving around, jacked as shit. He probably weighed 220, 230.
I mean, he was planning on some trouble because he had a fucking axe in his car.
They were fucking with him. That's in his mind. They're fucking with me. Those motherfuckers are fucking with me, man.
Fucking with
They're laughing at me, fucking with me and shit like that. I got something for them. I'm fucking driving around with my fucking axe. And he's doing other shit, and all of a sudden a cop pulls him up. See, I told you they were fucking with me. That's
yeah.
That's
I'm sure that's exactly what his process was.
I was like, okay, yeah. Good thing I got off that shit.
Yeah, because that would have been you.
Yeah.
Because you were already saying, like, I'm gonna go cut that dude's head off.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
Can we not? Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Yeah, and there was I did notice that there was an affinity towards fucking like bladed weapons or in clubs, primitive weapons, not guns.
Yeah,
something that would hurt.
Yeah, like serial killer shit.
Yeah, and that started me thinking. You know, fucking after that shit went down, I was going like, I think maybe some of these serial killers might have something wrong with their endocrine systems.
Maybe so. There might be something to that
because Tren is just a different ester of nandrolone, and nandrolone is a synthetic copy of testosterone. It's just been they've rearranged some proteins and molecules and shit on it a little bit to make it a little bit better, and it's make it so you could give it to a woman without turning them into a man at the same dosages, you know. So could it be that some dudes might have an endocrine system that's slightly mutant, and it mixed testosterone, but that testosterone kind of, if you were to look at those molecules, might look kind of like Tren.
I mean, that's something that maybe should be looked into.
Yeah.
Because the way you were acting, it is kind of like a...
Like
although, I will say that you weren't... The violence, the sexualized violence was not geared toward women. It was geared towards other men.
Yeah.
That you perceived as weaker.
Yeah.
But you didn't seem...
Weaker or threats.
Yeah, you weren't...
Wasn't to people I knew.
It wasn't to people you knew, and it wasn't toward women.
No, you're real protective and simpy towards women. So it's like a hyper masculinity.
Yeah.
Protecting women and attacking men. Protecting women, attacking unknown men. That'd be a good way to put it. Like strangers. Go to the restroom.
Yeah, Full Metal Nosferatu said, Tom, do you think the wrestler Chris Benoit, who killed his wife and son, then himself, was on that?
No, he had.
We saw a documentary about him, didn't we?
Yeah, no. He had multiple head injuries, lots of them.
Yeah.
And he was on test in nandrolone, but it wasn't the nandrolone, it was the head injuries.
Yeah, it's possible he could have been on it and it might have exacerbated, but I think the head injuries were what caused that. Because I think, we've talked a lot about on the shows too, like a lot of serial killers had head injuries as kids. Tom had a head injury when he was in the army and was in a coma for a while, and it took a long time for him to get over it. So it kind of, if the front of your head is smushed, it kind of lowers your inhibitions and sort of messes your personality up a little bit. Yeah, Papa77 said also he was also on roids. Yeah, I remember. I wouldn't actually mind seeing that documentary again. Because I don't think we reviewed it, but we did watch it. Because I don't think we've done a show about him. But we might have talked about it on one of the other shows. Because I remember watching it not too long ago. Yeah, he had the brain of an 85-year-old man with Alzheimer's. Yeah, it'll fuck your shit up.
What you talking about?
He said he was on roids too.
Yeah. Who is this?
Chris Benoit, that wrestler.
Yeah, but who's
Papa77 said he was also on roids and said he had the brain of an 85-year-old man with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, but that was the head injuries. That wasn't the steroids.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
I basically got the lowdown on what Benoit was taking. He was taking testosterone, and he was taking nandrolone, which are very common to stack. I take those. Very common, very safe user profile. One of the things that nandrolone can do, nandrolone is used to treat head injuries. If a dude gets a serious head injury, you can start banging him up with nandrolone or other kind of steroids because they're anti-inflammatories. They'll keep the brain from swelling, okay? And the swelling causes further damage to the head. It's already injured, it swells up and it presses up against the skull and damage gets even worse. Steroids will stop that. It'll keep the inflammation down. Benoit was doing these amazing shows. He loved his fucking job. He would get the shit kicked out of him. They'd beat the shit out of him with fucking metal folding chairs. He'd jump off of shit, fucking land on the ground. They'd fucking beat him, He took a serious beating several days a week while he was touring. He's getting all kinds of head injuries. But because he's on nandrolone, the brain isn't swelling. He doesn't know that he's taking head injuries. The head injuries aren't as serious as they would be. He's not having the effects of, like, say, massive concussions. So he's taking head injuries, but the nandrolone is protecting him from certain aspects of it. But that shit only works so long. Eventually his brain was fucking fucked up. It wasn't swelling, but it was fucked up. And one of the things that can happen with head injuries, multiple head injuries, is fucking the inability to regulate emotions. They get mad, they just fucking fly off the fucking handle. And Tren will do that too, but it's different. It's doing it by a different way, and it's going to be a different character. He just got fucking pissed. And because of his brain, like you said, his brain was fucked up. It was like an 80-year-old. He couldn't stop himself. But test, in the levels that he was taking, he wasn't taking that much, probably 400 milligrams. And then he was probably taking another like 400 or 500 milligrams of nandrolone. Those what do you call them? Those wrestlers of that day didn't actually take that much. It was just kind of like a standard doses that they were taking. Kind of like what your average gym bro today would be taking. They had a little bit of information, but they didn't have as much information as we have now. Like most of those dudes were not taking Clomid or HCG. So they were on birth control. They were all shooting blanks. And some of them probably had ED. Because sometimes if you have weird mixtures of testosterone and nandrolone, and you're not taking the Clomid, so your natural testosterone production shuts down. Sometimes that also ends up being, I wouldn't say ED, it's just like not full-blown ED. It's just gonna be like inconsistent erections. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. Take Clomid and it'll clear up. You'll always be able to. And it's just because of a hormonal imbalance.
Yeah, Papa77 said it was his flying headbutts that did him in. It was one of his finishing moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only smack your head so many times. It's like that's where your brain is, and that's where all the important shit is. So
eventually what happened, he flew off the handle and killed his family.
CB says he was blacking out during matches, and they think he killed his wife when he blacked out at home and killed the kid and himself as a result.
Yeah.
Like he might have done it during blackout, and then when he woke up and realized it,
what he'd done and committed suicide, killed a kid, something like that.
Yeah, which I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That'd be so fucking scary.
What I didn't like about it is that the Wrestling Federation fucking pulled all of his toys, totally fucking turned their back on the dude, and basically they just shat on him. Alright? They didn't do what they should have done and say that he was a casualty of the sport, you know.
Well, of course they're not going to say that.
They didn't want to do that because then they would say, like, well, then it's our fault.
Yeah.
You know, but it kind of was.
Kind of.
They shouldn't have let him do that. That shit was too dangerous. But they were making so much money back then, and they really didn't know the limits.
They didn't care. They don't really care, like, because a lot of football players have that shit too, because they're always like smacking their heads on shit like that. And it's only now that they're kind of starting to even address it. It's like before they're like, we're making money, so who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but no, it wasn't Tren. Tren's been around a long time. The real name for it is Tren-induced. And what they did was, people think this is not something that's made in bathtubs or anything. It's not. These were made by real drug companies, usually in the 1960s. The patents have run up on them. Anybody can make them. Everybody knows how to make them. And you got pharmaceutical companies in other countries like Mexico, and they make them in fucking Asian countries make them, and they're sold over the counter. You usually don't even need a prescription for tests and fucking steroids. Which really, you know, in my experience, they might as well make it over the counter, because most dudes don't have the discipline to take the shit regularly anyway. So you're going to have the same users. It's not like you're going to add to the users. It's going to be the same. They came out with nandrolone. Nandrolone was an improved testosterone you could give to a woman. So if she got hurt, you could give her that and she'd heal up. Guys that worked out realized that, shit, if you take nandrolone and you're on that, you can go and work out and you'll heal up in 12 hours or 18 hours or 24, depending on how much is in your system. Instead of 4 days of recovery, man, you got a fucking day of recovery. So you can work out 3 times a fucking week heavily, and you'll get stronger, bigger. You'll be able to grow all that fucking damaged muscle fiber back. So it's not like you just take the shit and you get big. It's not like that. You're repairing muscle fiber so you can work out more. Just because you take steroids doesn't mean that you're cheating, that you now get big for free. No, it allows you to work out more and heal up faster. So you still got to lift all that weight. You're going to be lifting more than a natural guy. You get stronger, you can lift more, and you can heal up faster. Well, nandrolone came in 3 different esters. The first one was nandrolone phenylpropionate, which is NPP. It was good. I like that one. It's very dry. You don't retain a lot of water. But it doesn't have a very long half-life, like 3 days, 2.5 days. I like that one because it's like Tren. You can take it. You don't bloat. The problem is you can only get it in like 100 milligram per milliliter. So it's always kind of weak. You have to buy a lot of it and inject a lot of it. They came out with the company that owned it called NPP. The market name was called Durabolin. Well, they made a longer ester version of it, so that would have a fucking 7-day half-life. So you only had to fucking inject it once a week instead of like once every 2 or 3 days. And it was called Deca Durabolin, and that's the real most common one. Me and Jen right now are on a mixture of Deca and NPP. A little bit of NPP, it's about half and half. The third version of it was another version of fucking Deca Durabolin called Trenbolone. It's like NPP, but it has a long half-life. In terms of like NPP, where it's dry, you don't retain a lot of water. But for most guys, it's got horrible side effects. So they pulled that from the market when it came out. They made it not for human use. They still made it though, but they sold it to the cattle industry.
Yeah, you can still get it. It's just technically you're not supposed to, not for human use.
If any of it's made in the United States, it's made for the cattle industry.
Yeah.
Because cows don't seem to have the same effect.
Yeah, you don't see cows running around in a rage or nothing.
Yeah, that bitch cheating on me.
Gonna tear that other cow's head
off. Cheating on me.
Slapping him with his fucking hooves.
Yeah.
That would be kind of funny.
And the advantage of Trenbolone was that it was cheap. So it was perfect for the cattle industry. Now, some guys are out there can take Tren and they don't have those same effects.
Well, yeah, everybody's different.
Everybody's a little bit different. But 70% of the guys that take that...
It's pretty notorious.
Can't take it.
For having... And everybody that I ever heard, because Tom showed me a bunch of different dudes talking about it, and they all say pretty much exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
They want to tear everyone's head off. They think their girlfriend's cheating on them. It's just it's a very, very common...
Turns you into It turns you into the Goblin.
Yeah.
From Spider-Man. You kind of split personality.
Now, CB says...
But it felt great.
Well, yeah.
That's another thing.
Well, it
feels great. It feels very strong. You love it. Even though it's evil and you're becoming very twisted, you for some reason you just love it.
Yeah, it's fun for you. It's just not fun for anyone around you. CB said that WWE is on Netflix now, and Chris Benoit is not edited out of the show.
Good.
So he's still on there.
Good. Because, he was a casualty. So was his wife and everything, But they couldn't, I guess they couldn't tell the public back in those days for legal reasons. They just wanted to
Papa
wash their
says he killed his wife on Friday night, then his son on Saturday, and himself on Sunday. His wife was going to serve him divorce papers the night he kills her.
Yeah, he couldn't fucking handle his rage.
I guess not. Well, she couldn't handle it either. That's why she was trying to divorce his ass, I'm guessing. But, I
wonder if how old was the little boy?
Yeah, I don't remember how old
I think he was pretty little.
Yeah.
He probably didn't know that the mama was dead.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I just can't imagine that whole, family annihilator kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
Well, he decided they were all going to go.
Yeah,
they were all going together. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? That's a whole... Because we've done a couple shows like that. I guess the most famous one is probably, John List, right? But, a lot of dudes are especially back in the day.
Yeah.
They'd be like, man, if they lost their job or something like that, well, I'm just going to kill my whole family.
Yeah.
And then myself. And I'm just
yeah, I can't live up to my duties as a man, so I'm just
going to... get another job.
I'm going to erase the whole family like I was never here.
I mean...
Yeah, it's
a little extreme.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, he was 6. That's what Papa
and he put a Bible next to them.
Damn.
That made it better somehow?
Yeah.
That's messed up. Yeah, I forgot about that. Full Metal Nosferatu said, I think Benoit was injecting his son with some substance.
Huh.
Oh, I wonder.
Full Metal Nosferatu said, who is it? He went up there, what now?
Superstar Billy Graham had a lot of complications after years of steroid use. Football player Lyle Alzado was so strong and tough he didn't... Alzado, yeah. He didn't... Well, I don't know sports ball. Was so strong and tough he didn't even need those substances.
No, all those dudes were on shit.
I mean, I kind of feel like most... I mean, I'm sure there's some that aren't, but I think most of them are. Especially in professional, because the thing about it is that after a certain percentage, if a certain percentage of the competitors are on it, you also have to be on it.
Yeah. There's kind of a childlike innocence to sports fans. They take athletes, pro athletes, and they try to put them almost like in demigod status. You know what I mean? Oh, they're honest. Oh, no, they're playing by the rules. They're real sports. No, all those dudes are cheating. Now, when they're in the game itself, they may not be on anything. But when they're in the off-season training, oh, they're on shit. That's how they're picking up all that muscle. Yeah, all of them. Pro bowlers take shit.
Which is hilarious.
It's ridiculous. Pro bowler wants to help my wrist, to keep my fucking all my shit.
Because that's kind of the only muscle that you're
using. My wrist good. Keep everything all lubricated. Yeah. But no, all your endurance runners are doing Winstrol. I've seen some of these little gymnast girls, like in the fucking doing Olympic stuff. Especially, I remember like back in the 80s. And I'm looking at those girls' thighs. They're like fucking 12, 13, 14. And I'm going like, nah. To me now, I look at that and I go, Nandrolone or Prima Bowling.
Probably. Well, like I said, compete at the highest level, if other people are on that shit, you kind of have to do it too because they have an advantage.
Yeah. Now people say, well, they're drug tested. Yeah, before the game.
Yeah.
But for that fucking 8 months that they were out training, they were on shit. Maybe not a lot, but they were on shit.
Yeah, they can get around it.
Yeah, and then they come off of it in a few weeks before the game, and they test them, and they go, oh, yeah, you're clean. No steroids in your system. Oh, hell no. No. Nandrolone only has a half-life fucking 7 days. That was fucking 3 weeks ago I came off that shit.
Yeah.
No steroids in me.
Yeah, I mean, they know how to get around it.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
If you start seeing dudes in single-digit body fat, and he's over the age of fucking 18, you're fucking... No, you just... Maybe that might be a fucking exaggeration, but... No, I can just look at those physiques and go, no. Come on. Okay. I'm going to show you a dude that I know is natural, and he's probably the best natural athlete that has ever existed. The master of fucking aesthetics, Steve Reeves. Go look at Steve Reeves.
He played Hercules in a bunch of movies back in the day. Some of which were on MST3K.
Yeah. Steve Reeves was a gorgeous dude. All right. His fucking body was perfect. He came off a farm out in the middle of the fucking Midwest or something. And he kind of looked like that while he was a teenager. You know, and he worked out his whole life, and that was natural. But by the time he was 40, he didn't look like that. Because your body can't produce testosterone like that for long. I mean, he still looked good at 40, but he didn't look like he did in his 20s, 30s. So, no. When you see anybody over the age of fucking 35 or 40 that looks fucking amazing, it's on shit. There's no other way.
True.
Science proves it. All this shit is a science. They know everything about it. There was a formula that would predict what my weight and body fat percentage would be after a certain amount of times on the shit that I'm on. And it was correct. It said my fucking lean body mass would probably end up being in the high 170s. Okay. I'm fucking about 185 right now, and some of me's on there is fat. So, it's about right. It's about 178 maybe. 176. If I didn't have any fat on me at all, I'd probably go about 176 probably. It's 178 maybe.
No, Papa77 said I know more about wrestling than I do about serial killers.
Yeah.
which is quite a lot. Yeah, CB said Chris Benoit's son Daniel was a dwarf. And Full Metal Nosferatu said, yeah, he had a condition called Fragile X syndrome.
Uh-huh.
Jeffy Art says bowling, the only sport where the prime athletes smoke, drink beer, and eat fried food while playing. I mean, that's my kind of sport, to be honest with you. But I suck at bowling, though. Well, honestly, I grew up in Daytona Beach, and there wasn't like a huge amount of shit to do. And there was a bowling alley in the strip mall behind our apartment. So sometimes we would go over there to like play video games or fart around. We usually didn't bowl, but sometimes we did. But man, I was not good at it. In some ways, I'm not like. It's weird because in a lot of ways, I'm like not super coordinated. Like I can dance, and I was always really good at like because I took ballet and gymnastics and stuff like that when I was a kid, and I was really good at that. But just like regular stuff, just like walking around and stuff, I will legit like just walk into a wall. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay,
but I sucked at bowling, for real.
That's Steve Reeves.
Yeah, he's famous.
He's famous, and that's about the best you can
He
ever
looks like
be.
Morrissey in that picture.
Yeah.
Like a young Morrissey.
He's probably one of the best, physically one of the best specimens
not his body, obviously,
to have ever lived. All right? And natural, no steroids. But the thing is that he was a genetic phenom. He was fucking 1 in a million. Okay? He was born with fantastic genetics. Fantastic. And he was the king of aesthetics. And in the fucking fitness world, aesthetics means pretty. That bitch was pretty. The king of pretty. Okay?
I can't believe how much he looks like Morrissey in that
Yeah,
picture.
yeah. Well, it was from that time, kind of from the 50s, 60s, early 60s.
Just his face and his hair.
Yeah.
Looked like Morrissey like in the 80s.
Yeah.
Not his body, obviously, because Morrissey's kind of skinny.
Very good. Very good shot of fucking Reeves' back. Okay? And like I said, this is all genetics. And he was 1 in a million. 1 in a million. Okay. And he's like that because he naturally produced a bunch of testosterone.
Like I said, he played Hercules in a bunch of those like
Yeah.
cheesy ass movies. I think they were Italian, like they made them in Italy.
Yeah. He had fantastic testosterone production and he worked out and he ate right. I challenge you to work out and eat the way he did. You will not turn out that way.
Well, like I said, some people are just
It's genetics.
genetically gifted.
Yep.
And something like that, it's like most people would never be able to look like that
Yeah.
without some kind
Without
of
assistance. Yeah.
It just it very rarely happens.
1 in a million.
But yeah, I mean, well,
Well,
that's the thing. It's just kind of like, it's just like anything else. You see like super beautiful people, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, some of that's natural, but some of that is other shit. Some of that's makeup and lip fillers and all that kind of crap.
Some of those really big boob strippers from the 50s that were around, that were all natural, is genetics.
Yeah,
Genetics. They were just got luck of the draw.
yeah.
That they ended up like that. No, if you weren't born that way and you want to look that way, you're going to have to get implants.
Yeah.
You can achieve it with implants. It's still big boobs. Dudes don't care. They don't care. A lot of dudes would rather have the implants because they know the implants would last longer. Because most of those girls that in the 50s that are strippers had the big old boobs like that. By the time they were 30, they didn't really look that way. You know
Well,
what I
they
mean?
start sagging.
Everything started to sag.
Gravity starts
Gravity.
taking its toll.
The skin can only support that amount of weight for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna speaking of lip fillers, I'm gonna try some out. I ordered some stuff and we'll see how, because I didn't get like the needle thing. I got the pen, like just to see what it would look like. But we'll see. If I don't like it, I'll just like let it fucking wear out, but we'll see. Yeah. Papa77 said, I'll wait till he comes back. But he said some of us do care, Tom. LOL, I want all natural. Yeah, some people do. Like I said, I think of, I don't know. I don't think I have the authority to say that most dudes don't care. I don't know. Like, honestly, I'm not really a big, physical person in the sense that, like, if I like the person, like, what they physically look like is not as important, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know. I kind of feel like dudes just like boobs, whether they're real or fake. I think most dudes don't care, but I don't know. Maybe that's not true. Yeah, Papa77 said, some of us do care, Tom. I want all natural. It's like, I want her tits to sag as much as my balls when I get old. I love it. Like I said, I don't, I'm not bothered because I'm not, like, super wrapped up in people's appearances as much. So it's like, it doesn't matter as much to me, but TB said, Jenny, you are perfect the way you are. Aw, that's nice of you to say.
Yeah, but Jenny's working to look that way. That's
Yeah.
what you have to consider.
Yeah.
That's not free either.
But
we both work hard to look good and to improve.
And there's still, like, a bunch of shit I don't. I've gotten over it better because I kind of feel like when I was younger, I just hated pretty much everything about myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I've gotten a lot better in that regard, but there's still, like, a lot of shit I don't like. But,
You're improving.
But yeah.
You're moving forward.
Yeah.
I think we both are.
Yeah.
I've changed a lot in the past fucking 6 years. For the better. And that wouldn't have happened had nature taken its course. Nothing's natural. Working out isn't natural. Cavemen didn't work out. Animals don't work out. They just do their thing.
That'd
Eating
be
high protein
That'd be super funny if Pokey worked out.
Yeah, really working out. Yeah. Nothing's natural.
Little barbells in her tiny paws.
Taking hormones and shit, that's not natural. But nothing's natural. Fucking wiping your ass isn't natural. Brushing your teeth isn't natural. Taking medicine isn't natural.
Yeah, it's like you'd all be dead by now.
Yeah. You're just going to use what's out there. When you understand technology, you understand biotech, you're going to go, oh, well, this is the way I can get around that problem. Biotech that everybody understands is a crutch. Or teeth. Your teeth fall out because you get old, so you put false teeth in. Well, shit, you can eat now. Well, that's cheating. Take them fucking...
That's cheating.
Take them fucking choppers out of
it's
your
like,
fucking
nope, you
mouth.
just
You
gotta eat grits the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You gotta eat baby food.
You gotta eat baby food. It's stupid. It's stupid, Some of these people are just fucking stupid.
Well, it just has to do with, it's like, well, what do you want the quality of your life to be like?
Yeah. Some people
just
want to die.
If you want the quality of your life to be good for as long as possible, then you're going to have to do that kind of stuff.
You're going to have to do upkeep, and you have to take the shit. You have to understand how the body works and how the body dies. Because really, after the age of fucking 40, you're dying. Slowly. It's called getting old. Getting old is dying.
I mean, technically, from the time you're born, you're dying.
Yeah. Well, no, because you're getting bigger. You're getting bigger, you're growing, you're gaining mass. So, no, you're moving ahead for a while. But then around 35, 40, you start to decline. That's the natural way of things. I don't believe in the natural way of things. Fucking making a bridge isn't natural. Making a car isn't natural. We have good bridges and cars and airplanes. Flying isn't natural. You just use your intelligence. Fucking, they call it cheating. You go, no, it's just, that's what humans do. They improve their situation. They fix shit.
Yeah, we're just trying to make shit better. We're trying to make shit better and shit easier.
Eventually, we will be immortal. The technology will be there. Now, you may not be physical or biological.
That's okay, though.
But you'll be immortal. Probably what will happen is stage one is somehow disconnect the thing that you call your consciousness or your soul, and they download that into a damn fucking internet. And you're living in an internet.
Yeah, there's a Black Mirror episode like that.
So you're basically like in the Matrix, which that'd be fine. But then eventually you say, well, I can fucking use some Bluetooth technology, transport my intelligence or my sensory input out of the internet into this fucking robot that is even better than a human body. Okay, looks better, it's faster, it's stronger. So I can walk around in the real world in this fucking body like a sex bot and do all this shit.
That'd be rad. I totally.
Yeah. And you don't like this body, I'll change it for another. You just rent bodies.
Maybe you could have a whole closet full
In
of
a
them.
closet, but which body? And then you say, "Fuck driving a car. Today, I'm gonna be a car." And then you fucking now you're running around with your 4 wheels and shit. You know. See, I got imagination. Yeah, I'm gonna be a car today.
I would do that.
I'm gonna be a jet or whatever, you know. Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I would do that. I'm not freaked out by that idea at all.
Then when I get to where I'm going, I'm gonna fucking switch over to the fucking sex bot that's in the trunk, and I'll fucking jump out of the truck. And I'll be in the female sex bot with the fucking huge fucking double E cans, triple E implants, fucking rubber boobs and shit. Looks like that fucking Jessica Rabbit doll. Yeah. Hey, I'm here.
Boing.
Yeah. And a man's voice coming out of it. Be fucking hilarious, man. Hitting people in their face with my titties and shit.
That does sound like fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I'll get one of those like fake things that you pull over that has like huge titties so I can smack people with them. Because I don't want them all the time.
Jen's told me before. She says, I fucking wanted to have a dick for a day, be a dude, fucking walk around.
Oh, I totally would.
Yeah, what would that be like? And I says, it's not that exciting. She says, yeah, but you were born that
That's
way.
what I mean. It's like you don't know any different.
Yeah.
So for me, it'd just be I wouldn't want to be a dude. It sounds terrible.
It's drudgery.
But
for most guys.
I mean, it sucks being a girl too. But I think it would suck more being a dude.
They're more disposable.
I don't even think it's that. I don't think I would like it. I just don't think I would like it.
Unfortunately, most dudes are incels in the world.
I don't even think I wouldn't like it.
They never have kids, and they genetically wash out. They don't have any fucking. I saw the statistics. Most dudes genetically wash out. I'm a genetic washout. I didn't have any children that survived.
That you know of.
That I know of. Right, yeah.
Although I'm gonna say it would not shock me if you do, because we've talked about this before. I said I would be willing to bet you at least $25.
There may be one out
there.
That
you have some kid out there.
There may be. That I don't know
considering
about.
How high your body count is.
Yeah, in the situations I was in, there's a possibility. Poor thing.
Ended up with your genes.
Yeah.
Knowing there's a little Tom Jr. running around out there.
Might be a female.
Or, I mean, or a Tomette.
Yeah.
Thomasina Jr. But,
might be a Korean girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's all kinds of shit that could happen.
That's all, yeah. Because you were all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Korea, Brazil.
You were just sticking your dick all over the world. All over the world.
Didn't get laid in Egypt. Did in Israel.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Hooked up with a female Israeli paratrooper.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, I never heard that story.
Yeah, she took me home to meet her folks.
Wow.
Yeah, she was fucking pulling duty. She was a reservist.
Okay.
She was pulling duty. Fucking, there was like some kind of terrorist threat. This is in the 90s. Some little terrorist alert. She was out there on alert, man. She had a fucking M16 and everything. And I went up there just speaking English, and I was like, "What kind of unit are you with?" She's reserve unit. Oh, okay, yeah. It's just, they, fucking. You're activated to activate. She goes, "No, it's just an alert." So it was just militaries we were talking about. So that means she wasn't activated.
Right.
She just had she was like a reserve or National Guard. It was just an alert thing, and she goes, "Alert!" She says, "I'm gonna be off in a few hours. You want to get something to eat?" She says, "When did you just get here?" Talking about yeah, I just got here. I told her where I was working at. She says, "Let's go get something to eat when I get off." She says, "Okay, I'll be back in a couple hours." Came back. Fucking, she was in her uniform. We got something to eat. She goes, "I just live around the corner. I live with my parents."
Damn. All right.
She says, "Yeah." She says, "Okay, cool." Went up in there, fucking met her parents and shit. I don't remember any of their names though. It was only one day. And then fucking, she says, "You want to go out?" And I said, "Yeah." So she took me to the Dolphin Club. It was in a place called Elot. It was a fucking marina. All right. And behind the club there was a beach. And in the beach they had an enclosed area that had dolphins in there.
Cool.
Yeah, and I took my fucking shoes off and rolled my pants up and went out into the water and petted the dolphins at night.
Oh.
They were asleep though. But one of them kind of woke up and like, yeah.
Stop touching me.
Yeah. No, they're okay. He's okay. Yeah. They were just like in 2 feet of water, or a foot of water. And, yeah, man, we fucking hooked up. Got a little hotel and shit afterwards.
Damn.
Yeah.
I never heard that story.
Yeah, she was cool. I don't remember her name, though. I had to go back the next day.
She probably knew that.
Oh, yeah, she knew. She knew the whole deal.
Oh, okay.
She was service.
Yeah.
Yeah, Army girl.
So what we're saying is that you could have children in lots of different countries.
Yeah.
Brazil, Israel, Korea.
But the thing is, you don't know.
Multiple places across the United States.
I was using protection, if I remember correctly. I usually did.
Yeah.
But, sometimes protection fails.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not 100% effective, So, I always kind of wondered.
Yeah.
Because I'd be kind of curious to know what a little you would be like. I mean, they wouldn't be little now, obviously, but that would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I going to say before that? There was something I was going to say, before all of that started.
Yeah.
Because we were talking
about... It was a mixed unit she was with. It had guys and girls in it. But she was, guarding an area where she lived. She was like National Guard or Reserve type deal.
Yeah.
I think she was actually in college. I don't... But it's been a long time. I don't really remember all the details. She was mostly civilian, more civilian than she was military.
Mm.
They did shit totally different down there.
Yeah.
They'd have their version of the Boy Scouts walking around with M16A1s out on the beach in civilian clothes. I was like, who are these dudes? Fucking. I asked an Israeli soldier, I said, who are these guys with the? And he goes, he spoke a little bit of English. He's like, it's like cadets, oh, okay, like the Cub Scouts? Yeah, like the Cub Scouts. Or Boy Scouts. Yeah, he knew what it was. They were probably about 13, 14, 15 probably. 15, 16 maybe. Yeah, probably 15, 16. Been a long time since I've seen them. They were carrying M16A1s. This is in the 90s.
Papa 77 said they have 5 kids.
Who?
Papa 77.
Oh, he's got 5 kids?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's prodigious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never had kids either.
Yeah.
That I know of.
Yeah, you know of.
I'm sure
Unless
I would
you
know.
got some dude pregnant.
I would know. Yeah, I got some dude pregnant. It happens. You know what I mean?
You could do that somehow, probably. You could probably figure out how to do that somehow.
I could probably figure it out if anyone could.
I did joke around a couple of times. Said, "Damn, Jen, you guys must have got me pregnant if I had something wrong with my stomach or something like that."
Yeah,
like, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with everything?
Did I get you pregnant?
You got me pregnant.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. I'm like the alien queen.
Yeah. Some wild shit, man.
I've heard, I haven't seen it personally, but I've heard that there is a dildo that looks kind of like an alien dildo that shoots eggs.
Yeah, you can deposit the ovipositor.
You can deposit
the ovipositor. Yeah.
For people that are into that kind of.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's something for everybody nowadays, which is kind of nice. That's kind of nice. But yeah, but my brother had kids, so I guess that kind of counts, right? You know what I mean?
All my cousins have kids, so.
Yeah, so I don't really feel if I don't feel
people who are related to me will continue on.
Yeah. Papa 77 said I share soap with a girl and she gets pregnant. LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean seriously. CB said just think somewhere in the world there's a Tom with tits walking around.
Bitch better be hot. She gonna fucking walk around carrying my fucking genetics.
We always kind of did wonder.
Maybe I've seen some of her videos and didn't even know.
Didn't even know that was your daughter.
That'd be fucking bizarre.
Oh man, what if you'd fap to some of those?
Yeah, you don't know.
And then that was your kid.
It's fucking bizarre.
Without you knowing.
That's the kind of world we live in.
That's what I mean. That could totally happen. Remember that story that went viral? I think Wang did a video about it. Yeah. About the girl at the what they called a hen party in the UK. It's called a bachelorette party over here. Yeah. But they were in Amsterdam and she was like in a glory hole situation and was blowing a dude and it turned out it was her dad.
Yeah. Although he kind of debunks it.
I think it's fake.
I think it was a legend.
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
But the circumstances around it, I'm like, that sounds really far-fetched.
Yeah.
Really far-fetched. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. It could happen. But I think shit like that has happened before. But
I'm sure there's porn stars out there that would do it.
Probably. That is kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, but no, like we were saying before, it's like I would be curious. I never wanted to be a dude, but I would be a dude if somebody said you could be a dude for a day to see what it was like. I would totally do it. Just because I'm curious. I want to know what it feels like.
It's funny you're talking about the chick that supposedly blew her dad in the fucking glory hole. I saw like fucking one of those interviews that I was seeing. One of the porn stars also had like an OnlyFans type situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this was before her career was really big. I think what she was talking about. She said, fucking, she went through her. She had like thousands of people on it.
Right.
She went through it and found her stepdad on it.
Yikes.
Yeah. She told her mom.
I would hope so.
She told her mom. She wasn't underage, but she
right,
found
but still, that's pretty fucking
on.
creepy.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. And fucking, she was telling that story, and like some of the other girls that were like were other porn stars that were, fucking in that studio was like, oh yeah, that happens, and they were like, fucking, I know somebody.
I bet that's pretty common.
Where cousins are on there, and
so
fucking
creepy.
Stepdads are on there, and their cousins are on it.
Now I'm kind of wondering if any of my relatives like looked at it.
I don't know. No telling.
I don't really want to know, honestly.
Yeah, you don't want to know. Cousins and uncles and
gross.
Fucking family members flicking on their OnlyFans.
And he was like using his real name.
No, I think I don't remember. I don't remember if it was his own name or he was using a dummy account. She figured it out.
And she figured it out.
It was something like. No, yeah. Okay, I remember the whole story.
He remembered it was.
It was a dummy account,
right?
That she was talking to. All right. And she was talking to that dude, and he was fucking buying custom video. He was buying custom videos, and fucking he was chatting with him.
Oh shit!
And
so it wasn't.
And it turned out the whole time it was her stepdad.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's even worse.
It's even worse. Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
There was something wrong with payment and this and that, the payment processing, and she got some kind of report. I think the agency itself said, "Hey, this is one of your relatives." It was something like that.
Yikes.
They went through the payment process.
Oh, can you imagine?
Because they were running some kind of AI security check, if I remember correctly, and I think OnlyFans platform had some security in there and caught him after a while.
Thank fuck.
Said, "Do you know this guy? Do you know this? This is." It was probably something along the lines is that the profile name. The name of the guy who owned the profile was probably different from what was on the card.
Right, yeah. So they were wondering.
So they were like, "Do you know who this is on this card?" She goes, "Yeah, my stepdad."
Yeah. She's like,
but he was
gross.
talking to her,
right,
and flirting with her,
and pretending he was someone else,
and asking her for custom videos, and he was like one of her best customers.
Ew.
Yeah, for like months.
Ew. That's so fucking.
Yeah.
God, dudes are disgusting.
Yeah, she was like Jack that she had this fucking high-paying customer.
And then when she found that, I was like,
yeah, she told her mom.
Sad trombone. Well, good. I would.
Her mom divorced him.
Good.
Type of deal.
Fuck that creep.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, I can't remember which girl that was.
Wow. Ugh. I need a shower now.
Yeah. The other girls were like, "Oh yeah, that happens," but this and that, because they were.
It's probably like a lot more common.
That turns out that it's cousins and uncles and shit like that. And evidently, fucking OnlyFans checks for that kind of shit.
Well, that's really scary that it's common enough that they know to look for it.
Yeah.
But like I said, now that you say it, it's disgusting, but it doesn't surprise me at all. Because that sounds like some shit that dudes would do. It's like, hot. That's my fucking stepdaughter and my cousin right there.
Probably fucking mouth watering over that shit for years.
Oh, yeah.
God, she's hot. Yeah. I'm gonna fucking get her porn. He's fucking sweet talking her and shit. Knows her in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, CB saying, just think how many sons are on their mom's OnlyFans jacking off for them knowing it's their mom.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure it happens.
That would be very rare.
I'm sure it happens.
I think that would be very rare. I would think that the sons of the mom would probably be like pretty embarrassed and unattracted, not attracted to her. Probably.
Well, but there would be a small percentage that were completely opposite, I bet. Because you know how freaky some people are.
Yeah.
somebody who's really fucking bent.
I can't imagine. I mean, like I said, I feel like it's pretty normal for people to be kind of grossed out to think about having sex with their family members.
Yeah, I think
But I guess it's not that gross to people because there's a large segment of porn that is like incesty.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously they're not really related, like in the video, but they pretend they are.
Yeah.
And people get off on that, but
Most common is cousins.
yeah, which
That's
isn't
welcome.
that weird.
It's not that
just-
weird because they didn't grow up together type
Right.
of deal. So if you grow up around somebody during formative years, it kind of like reprograms you, so where you don't feel
You don't
attracted.
see.
You don't see
yeah.
them as attractive.
Although I did read, and I don't know what the like how common this is, but I did read that siblings that were raised apart,
Yeah, that they get it on.
that they tend to like,
Yeah.
if they meet each other later and they don't know that they're brother and sister,
Yeah.
like a lot of times they'll be really attracted to one another.
Yeah.
But if you grow up together, no, not at all.
I heard one where a brother and sister that were, I think it was a twin brother and sister. So they were like, what do they call them? Fraternal twins? Is that what they call
Fraternal
them?
twins, yeah.
They were separated arly. I think they got adopted or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. But then they were able to meet each other at one time, and they said evidently they just immediately fucking became like fucking obsessed
Yeah.
with each other. And they didn't come out and say they were fucking, but they kind of hinted that
They strongly implied
that they were like inseparable, and like people were worried type of deal.
Yeah. I could see that because if you didn't grow up with them and
Yeah.
you don't know that that's your sibling, you meet them later, you're like, oh my god, it's like the male version of me or
Yeah.
the female version of me. It's like, they get me.
Yeah, and twins are already kind of like that. But if you fucking get rid of that internal programming to keep hands off one another, that could be very dangerous. Now, don't quote me. Some of you all remember this. Maybe you can check it on fucking Grok 3. I remember the Barbie twins. Were those California big titty twins. They had posters of them and shit like that. Those two were fucking crazy when they got older and everything. They kind of had that folie à deux kind of thing.
Yeah.
They had mental problems, but they fucking were inseparable. If I remember correctly, they admitted to like having sex with each other pretty regularly.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
But I remember you telling
If I remember
me.
that, yeah, I remember that they basically said that. Oh no, we're we love each other type of deal.
If you know what we mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never had a twin, so I don't know.
They were identical twins.
I grew up in a family with a couple. Two of my cousins are identical twins, and two of my
Yeah.
aunts are identical twins.
I could see it though. With,
They weren't weird, though.
I could see it with identical twin girls if they're crazy. They got that folie à deux type thing.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
I could see it happening.
And,
Sure.
Yeah, and then they think they're the same person. So to them, it's more like masturbation. It's not
maybe.
sex type of deal.
Because it's not. Yeah.
Because it's like not another person. You're the same person.
Yeah. Papa says now we're talking flowers in the attic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, those two, I kind of feel like that happened. I mean, I know it's a fictional book, but that just happened because they were locked in an attic for a long time, and there
They
was
didn't know
nobody
anybody.
else around.
Yeah.
So brother and sister were like, "Hey, you're looking pretty good to me. Hey, you're looking pretty good to me too."
That's all they had. It
You know what I mean?
When the attic all hot, it wasn't even fucking air conditioned and shit.
Yeah, they just locked them up there for
Yeah,
like years
that's
and
some weird
years.
shit, yeah.
And then they were like, and then
Weren't they albino?
No.
They were just real pale, I guess.
Yeah, because they didn't
Then
see
okay.
any sun.
Yeah.
And then because remember the evil grandma was like slowly poisoning the younger ones with arsenic.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever read the book.
Spoiler alert.
I don't think I ever read.
It was a whole series.
I
I
heard
actually
of them.
read the first one. I mean, they're very what's the word I'm looking for? Sordid. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. They made a movie of the first one, which was all right, with Christy Swanson in it, who was in the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie,
Yeah.
as well as Deadly Friend, the Wes Craven movie where somebody dies by having a basketball thrown at their head. But wasn't it that woman from Throw Mama from the Train in the Goonies?
Yeah.
Yeah, like her head blew up. I still remember that scene. Well, she was a robot. Like Christy Swanson was a robot. So she.
Well, Jen, it's 11.
Yeah.
This down. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, me too.
You want
It's
a chicken sandwich?
getting kind of late. Oh, you making a chicken sandwich?
Yeah, I'm making a chicken sandwich.
We got nuggies and we got chicken sandwich.
I got chicken patties.
Got chicken patties.
I don't have chicken nuggets.
Well, no, I'm saying
We had those before.
we got those before from the Dollar General. We're getting all the cheap ass like processed chicken products from Dollar General. It's cheap, you know what I mean? And it's like they're easy to heat up in the air fryer and you can just make a sandwich or whatever. All right, so we're going to wrap it up for this evening because it's getting kind of late and we need to get something to eat. So hopefully you guys had a good time hanging out with us tonight. I had a really good time, as I usually do on Fridays. So yeah, have a good rest of your evening, you guys. Have a good weekend, and we'll be back on Monday. Like I said, we're probably gonna review The Haunting of Seacliff Inn, or whatever that movie is called. If we haven't reviewed it already, I'll do another search and see if I can find it. If not, there's another one that somebody recommended to me that's also on YouTube, like another kind of made-for-TV horror movie from the 90s. So we might do that one instead. I can't remember what the name of it is. I have to look it up. But yeah, so we'll be doing one of those two for Monday. So yeah, have a good weekend, you guys, and we will see you guys again on Monday.